That went pretty fast. COVID and Coffee, episode 7. Got 3 people in here. We got Trap Ninja. We got Demo RC. What's going on, guy? I can make the lives now. I have to stay home. Oh, no. You got to stay home for 2 weeks? Yeah, that's crazy, man. Definitely crazy. So, today on COVID and Coffee with RC Guy Garage, just a couple of like weird things that I just came across. Lipo battery safety. It's pretty important. I did do a quick little recording yesterday about something I discovered about a Power Hobby battery. I'm gonna kind of incorporate that, hopefully in maybe some of today's footage that I'm gonna get. But when you guys get those power banks, like I'm a big like thing or a big advocate about, you know, getting power banks, and then, you know, obviously power banks, like what do you do with them, right? You get a power bank, and the whole point with a power bank is to have it fully charged like at all times, right? So shouldn't the power bank kind of be safe? Well, you'd think so. So I bought a couple of power banks from this company right here, Jayco. And I'm going to tell you right now, do not waste your money with a company like this. So this company, I bought a few of these, and I bought them for family members. And it was kind of like one of those things where, you know, my idea was charge it up, leave it in your vehicle, and that way you'll, I don't know. I just was thinking, I don't know, maybe you need to power your phone or something like that. In the event that, I guess maybe your battery didn't have power or something. Maybe that didn't make sense. But I guess it was just kind of have like a power bank or an extra power source. Maybe if you were just going somewhere and you just need to, you know, attach your phone just so you could have a boost. Well, the only reason why I'm showing you this side is because this side is showing a different story. So on the back side of this, you can see that that's a pretty good sized LiPo battery that's inside of there. You also see that maybe this battery is a little stretched, like it looks like it puffed, because it did. Now, this was the power bank that I had for myself. So I did the same thing. I bought all the family members one of these power banks just so that they could have it, whatever they did with it. And I thought the recommendation would be to make sure it's charged. Now, I've got certain LiPo batteries. I've got power banks that I've had for a couple of years now, and I keep one of them in my truck, and it might be, I guess, a testament to the quality of the power bank that's in my truck. Now, that thing is, I don't know what the charge situation is right now, but the last time I checked, it was still fully charged. Now, there's no puff. It's right in my console in my truck. And I think it's just like maybe if I'm like, I really don't know why it's in there. It's just in there because I guess maybe if I'm going to go shoot like some footage with a GoPro or whatever, and let's just say that the battery's dead, or, hey, you remember I told you about these battery packs, right? No. Remember the little battery pack thing that I gave you? This little Jayco thing? Remember how I found, didn't you find it? Yours was puffed, swollen?
No. No?
Well, maybe I found yours swollen then. Well, anyways, I'm just telling people don't trust these packs. So if you still have this little pack, which I don't think you do, you take it off?
Yep.
Okay. Bye, sweetie. I love you. Well, anyways, pretty sure that her battery pack was one that I discovered, which kind of made me like look at this one too. But anyways, getting back on the quality of power banks, how do you actually know like what you're buying? Power Hobby batteries, right? I kind of thought they were good initially, and I was basing that opinion off of obviously, you know, what other people were saying. Other people were saying Power Hobby's great. Well, I picked up 2 Power Hobby batteries, and one of them could be a user error. The other one, definitely not a user error. It's definitely a failed pack. It's not wiring. It's literally the cells or whatever. Something's like massively messed up. So one of the cells is way overcharged. And this was, I don't even know how this happened. So I thought I drained the pack in whatever RC that I ran it in. I actually don't even remember what car I had it in. Could have been even the Kaiju. The Kaiju could have been ripping it. I don't know. I suspect that it was the battery that I had in the Traxxas Max. Now, I thought I expended that pack completely. So I went to go stick it on my charger, and I put it on. And like I said, there's going to be a video thing about this. But I stuck it on the charger, did my typical, charge at, 1,000 amps. And it doesn't charge at 1,000 amps. It only charges at what like each battery pack or each cell like seemingly requires or whatever. And it's been flawless with just about every battery that I've had. It's been flawless. I mean, could it be my charger? I guess, but I'm gonna maintain until I really find that my charger has any issues. I'm maintaining. No, I'm placing blame on the battery pack and not myself and not my charger as of right now. So plugged it in, put it on typical balance charge like I do, and they normally only balance charge at around, I'd say like at least that particular pack, like 4.5, 4.3, 4.9 amps. It'll kind of like, just kind of fluctuate in that area. Every once in a while, it'll give it a little kick to see if the battery will take more, and it usually backs off pretty quick, which is fine. So it seems like it's charging like I almost said I had thousands of batteries. I've got quite a few batteries that I charge. So I'm fairly familiar at this point in time with LiPo like batteries and how these chargers work. So the Power Hobby battery that I have, one of them, the negative wire, somehow came unsoldered. It's a hard case. It's a 100C, 7200 something pack, I think. It's not even over here right now because I don't trust it. That I'll maybe say that somehow is my fault, which I don't know. I don't see it because, like I said, I don't pull the wires out. I don't pull the batteries out by the wires. I try to, grab it by the thing, but who knows? Maybe I did pull it by the wires. But I figured a hard pack, like you would think, a hard pack is more safe because I don't know, more safe from impacts, more safe from something. I don't know. Just thinking it was more safe. Hard packs are designed for RC cars. So, but I usually always use these soft packs, and I never have any issues with the soft packs. And I've had packs jump out of vehicles. It's rare, but it does happen. So this next Power Hobby pack, which, like I said, you'll see in the video, one of the cells, and this was an expended pack. One of the cells is literally overcharged. So for some odd reason, it wasn't pulling power from one of the cells. Like, I mean, a couple of people had made comment about the video with the Traxxas Max. I think it was 2 people, or it could have been 1. But they made the comment that they were asking whether if I was running on 3 or 4S. Now, when I was driving it, I was attributing possibly the speed of the RC, and I believe it was a Power Hobby pack in there. I was attributing the speed of the RC, I think, to be, gosh, now I can't remember. Was it the Power Hobby pack? I don't know. I don't even know what battery pack it is, but for some reason, it seemed like the vehicle was slow to a couple of individuals. Now, I was thinking that it was because it was, the soft sand, and everybody was used to seeing, the, faster scale vehicles, 6S, on up running in those areas. So you kind of maybe some people got used to seeing how fast a vehicle would launch off the jump, and none of the footage was sped up. The only thing that I ever do with footage is I'll slow it down so you can obviously see different things with a jump. Or different things just to get like that, cinematic kind of, appeal or whatever, or trying to show something or trying to hear something. So I suspect that obviously there's an issue with that pack. I'm going to have to figure out how to safely drain that. And it might be one of those I mean, the cells are literally all over the place. And I don't believe from memory, I don't believe I've ever had, that kind of problem. So reaction packs so far, reaction packs, I can't promote. I can't say, that reaction packs are any good. Those are those, like translucent red packs. Right now, I feel like I can't say Power Hobby's any good either. And I really was on board, but I've also seen, a couple of other things happen with Power Hobby packs, and nothing's perfect. Maybe I just have the unicorn of the, crappy packs. I suppose that's possible. I cannot recommend, obviously everybody knows Zop Pop. Zop Pop, no, they're 50%ers. Sometimes they're only 30%ers, meaning 30% of the time the battery's going to be any good. 50% of the time the battery's any good. Have I ran thousands of Zop Pops? No. I've run 12 of them. But that's enough. It's enough to spend your money and right out of the gate the battery to be a fail. And then to try to go through the bang good return process is an absolute joke. So there's that thing where you get what you pay for. Well, you also get what you pay for on these pieces of garbage. So if you get yourself one of those, charge packs or whatever, I don't know. I don't even know what to do, man. I know that the ones that are in my truck seem safe, but this one was in my cabinet. So I have a little cabinet in the kitchen that I keep all important papers in there. I keep cash on hand type of stuff in an envelope up there. And this was underneath. So this could have burnt down my house, maybe. I don't know. Would it have exploded? Who knows? Maybe the circuitry in this thing is bad. But that right there just point blank told me piece of garbage. So just watch out for watch out for these cheap battery banks, and watch out for your cheap lipos, because man, you really don't know what you're buying. So anyways, this COVID and coffee was, I'm going to jump into the chat real quick, but this COVID and coffee for me is basically talking about a couple of vehicles that I'm going to take out and rip today. So the plan is to take, obviously, the Traxxas Max, because that thing survived diamond dust. And when I brought it back here and I was, using the rubber mallet and trying to smash all the dirt off, behind me over here, I had taken the car, and for some odd reason, I took it and I threw it to the ground to try to smash off some of the dirt. And when I did that, the axle broke. And to me, that meant that thing was ready to break anyway, because when we pulled the axle apart on the live, I think it was the live that we did, we pulled the axle apart on the live, and I did that little axle swap thing with the pieces parts. That's why I'm saying don't get rid of your pieces parts. Make sure you have a junk drawer. Keep stuff. If you've got one little widget piece that's still good, keep it until you might use it. Just buy one of those plastic bins from a big box store and throw all your broken parts in it, because you never know. In your mind, you threw something in that junk bin, and you can scavenge for parts. And I scavenged and was able to piece together one of the front axle that broke, that was worn out. I do want to change this over to the metal axles. This is my wife's truck. I suspect this spring and summer she's going to get more involved. Right now it's too cold for her. Today it's going to be 44 degrees, so I'm going to rip the Traxxas Max. I'm going to take out the Hobao SS caged buggy / truggy. That thing kicked butt. And if anybody was on the live that I did last night with the COVID and coffee, with the Shop Talk and Wrench, you literally saw me take the Creighton body, the EXB. I'm using my EXB right now as a parts vehicle. So a vehicle that I've only run 4 or 5 times, maybe 6. It is now a parts vehicle. How does a EXB go from being an extreme bash to a Craigslist parts vehicle? So I took the Copperhead 2s off. I was running these tires right here, but I realized that if I could throw on those copperheads, which obviously it wasn't, could I, until I threw on those copperheads, it might allow the vehicle to have a little bit more speed, a little bit more. I mean, it's not even like it needs air control, because it's already got it with those tires and wheels, the Kaiju ones. But anyways, it's running the tires and wheels off of my EXB Creighton. I even left. I'm gonna switch the camera around, but I even left the. So I took the Creighton body, right? I took the Creighton body and literally mounted it onto this buggy, and it fits like a glove. Meaning, I don't know if you can see this, but see these pins? These body pins right here are the ones from the Creighton. I looked at this front shock tower and I was like, man, it really looks like the Creighton pins on the front literally line up on this Hobao. So I just by, like chance, I'm like, I'm just going to buzz them on real quick and I'm going to see if the body fits. Took the cage off. The body fits like perfect. So the joke was, if I wanted to have an indestructible EXB, or at least one that ripped it, I gotta put the body on a Hobao. And I'm telling you, man, this so far, I'm not telling people, to go out and buy it yet, because I still need to rip this thing myself a little bit more. But man, I really am very shocked at the performance of this vehicle so far. All the differentials are wide open except for the center diff now. I had off camera, I had done, a couple of things. I remounted the ESC on the Sherlock, which is this stuff right here. This stuff is awesome. Earl turned me on to this, and I love this stuff. So I've got another roll to, cut and have for, other projects and stuff. But where am I with this? I don't even know. I'm just shocked. I'm really shocked at how this thing ripped. So right now it's running the copperheads. It was running these tires right here, which when you put them up to each other, you can see that it's a slightly taller tire, which I feel is going to be nice. Width-wise, if you're going to be like exact, the copperhead tread for tread, this is a more aggressive tread, but the copperhead is a stiffer rubber, slightly stiffer, slightly taller, and slightly wider. So I feel as though this thing is going to fly today. I've stuck 1 million in the center diff. It may need more. I haven't touched the front or rear differential. I literally want to see, okay, slapping oil, like slapping, because you can see it's way wide open. Most likely it just has like a little drizzle of fluid in it, just enough to keep the gears like maybe moist. Is probably about it. But once I rip this thing today, see what it's doing, then I'm going to crack open the diffs and start to tune the rest of the vehicle. As of right now, for my temperatures, I'm only going to run this like in the 40s right now. The shocks seem to be performing very well. Hobao makes, it's not every vehicle, but Hobao seems to make a very good performing vehicle. With very slight modifications, you can get it to do so many more things. So we were kind of talking about tires. Now that I took the Redcat Racing Kaijus off of this vehicle, now they're going to go on to the Traxxas Max. Now I've driven the Traxxas Max with these Kaijus before, and the difference in the tire on the Traxxas Max, again, a taller tire, width-wise, it's a little bit wider. So what it does is it reintroduces a little bit of the original tip, but once you have a wide max, getting a tire in about this size right here is, I feel, definitely the way to go. The other oddity, right, that I noticed about these kaijus is that the kaijus are actually directional. So you can see the arrow. Anytime you see an arrow, it means that the intention is, if this is your forward motion, if that's what you do, unless you drive backwards all day, it's, oh, wait a minute. No, never mind. Never mind. It's a non-directional tire. I was talking about direction. I'm like seeing like the arrow. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's directional. Not even like literally realizing it, going, thinking in my head, like, how could this be a directional tire? Because the lugs all look the same. But anyways, sometimes you have a directional tire and it will have an arrow that points in one direction or the other. So you kind of got to keep it like attention to that. I guess I wasn't paying attention. So forget that. We'll just edit that out of the video. But the intent today is, again, to take these tires and wheels and rip these at Diamond Dust. The other vehicle that I'm going to have there, is going to be the Mojave. This time, I'm going to make sure I take the right remote, because it was like pretty upsetting. I was ready to rip that Mojave. The Mojave actually has the original takeoffs from that caged Hobao SS buggy. So I'm hoping to be able to break my max speed on that, because the way that thing was set up, it's, you know, it's set up as the Mojave, so it rips amazing. But the tires and wheels that are on it right now, I'm really hoping to hopefully blow away my max speed. I think my max speed so far on that Mojave is only 54 miles an hour, because once it gets to that threshold, it seems like anything beyond that just makes it do a wheelie. So what I did is I created a windscreen or a windshield for it, because the air pumping into that, you know, inner body or inner structure causes, obviously, the thing to lift, along with just the massive amount of power that the thing has. The BLX system that was in there, the ESC, I did blow the caps on that. So I did dig them out. I still haven't repaired it. I still have to get capacitors for that particular ESC system, but I am going to actually just repair that. Yeah. But I got the windscreen on there. I've got a pretty nasty rake to it right now. So the front end is as low as it can go, and the rear end is as high as it can go. Hopefully that's going to, you know, at least give it, hopefully, a chance to, I want to at least get 60 out of it. And that's probably not like max speed that, you know, other people have done. But I think with the Mojave, it's kind of tough to, you know, attain those speeds just because of the body and just because of how the vehicle's designed. I do like the fact that the body itself kind of wraps the tires. So you kind of almost think side, you know, on the sides, that it seems aerodynamic. It's just obviously having that front windshield wide open, it takes all the aerodynamics like away from it. And that back little louvered section turns into a parachute. So I believe the windshield's going to work. It does have now a 150 amp, I think, which is basically the same thing. I think it's a Hobby Wing 150. I don't remember. Once I get out there, I'll crack it open and we'll see like what it is. 6S, obviously. Yeah, that's it. So, what's up? Well, that was a long time talking. So, what do we got here? 42 people. Wow. Whoa. What is that? Junebug. I may have missed it. What size spur and pinion should you use on your Max? Bigger, heavier tires on? Well, My max, or should I say my wife's max is 100% like stock other than the wide arms. And all I did was change out the diff fluid in the rear, the front, and I cut the Traxxas plug off and put an XT90. I will say that running the tires, the stock pinion, I don't even know what the stock pinion is. What is it, like a 14 or I don't even know. I don't know what the stock pinion is, but I can tell you that you definitely need to down the pinion, but I'm not going to because right now I'm just going for, I want to see where its baseline is now. Now I'm going to be able to take it to Diamond Dust. I was ripping it in the backyard track here, but the backyard track is becoming a little bit kind of too small, especially for some of the RCs, some of the speeds that I'm getting right now. But as far as like downing the pinion, you definitely have to, especially with the Traxxas Max, when you go bigger or heavier tire, because it's like Instacog. It's not bad with these tires because these are still kind of a lightish weight tire. But I can't tell you like right now what pinion would be best because honestly, I don't even remember what pinion's in there. I do know that I have pinions across the board, higher and lower than what that is at that motor shaft, because I've literally got every motor shaft like size pinion. So, or not every, but close. I wish I could answer that question for you. Maybe somebody in the chat already did. But we have got Trash Ninja, KGM, Big and Cool, Lennon, RCU next Tuesday, Gaines. Let's see. J.O., Chef, Steve. Let's see. Dan's Bearded RC. What's going on, guy? Josh Johnson. What's going on, guy? Who else? C Stone. What's going on, man? Keep up the good lives. Dude, it's kind of, it gets rough. I try, man. I try. Gaz FPV. What's going on, guy? Dan the Man. Daza Paca. What's going on, guy? And I think the Hobao MT wheels are bigger than what? The Hobao MT wheels are massive. And the negative about those wheels is the hex size. I do have hexes that I could swap onto another vehicle if I wanted to run Hobao tires and wheels, which works out because I do have a bunch of those tires and wheels. Gus, what's going on, guy? Hobao rules. Dude, I'm telling you, Hobao is actually, people don't realize Hobao actually is a good company. I mean, people will complain because a big thing is always going to be part support. And I feel like Hobao kind of has a place. I don't know, man. Somebody asked me about quality of Hobao, and I'm kind of all over the place with it because they seem to be in between, say, Traxxas and ARRMA. So I feel Hobao kind of seats itself in between Traxxas and ARRMA. Hobao has like odd pieces of quality that are in some of their vehicles that, like, if you're going through the vehicle, you'll come across something and you'll go, you know, like, this, how is this piece in this vehicle? Like, not that it doesn't make sense, but even their shocks, like on that car, it's got built-in shock boots. Like, it's got, like, out of the box, it's got shock boots. So it's like, and the tunability, the way they've designed the tunability, you can definitely see like they seemingly design, and also their shocks are very smooth operating shocks. I will say that some of Hobao's, you know, higher quality vehicles are definitely very smooth shocks. I mean, the thing out of the box, I mean, it comes with sway bars. I mean, the tunability is crazy. Some of like, I think like the battery tray, they got that wrong for me. For the battery packs that I like to run, they definitely got the battery tray wrong. So I just ripped the battery tray out, relocated the ESC, and threw a ARRMA Mojave battery tray in it. So right now, that thing is a combination of Hobao and ARRMA. Literally. There's nothing else in there that like there's no other manufacturer that's in there. So you want to say that it kind of fits right in between. That literally is right there. It literally fits right in between because it's already a combination. So, but I definitely agree with you, man. Frankie, what's going on, man? Whoop, I just lost. JK, what's going on? Peter, what's up? Stoned RC, what's happening, man? Hot Hoopty, what's going on, guy? Jonathan Davis from Corn is here. Dwayne, what's going on, guy? Bernard Kingdom, what's going on, man? So much rain. You haven't ripped in 2 weeks, right? Can you see cabin fever? I bet, man. You know, last year brought on, I think, a whole new meaning to the word cabin fever. Last year definitely did that. Hobao, you're looking at getting one? Nice. Yep. Hobao also was slated to release 2 new vehicles last year, but Hobao is a small company. So they were really impacted by you know, the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever people want to call it. So their company was affected by that because they are a small company. But they've got and they weren't sleeping either. They still were working on things. But they've got 2 vehicles that are supposed to be coming out this year that initially were going to come out last year. And one vehicle, I think that they decided to do some last minute revisions on. And I've been in communication with them. And hopefully, I think between, I think like that April, May, June, July is, I think they're hoping to release another either updated version of a vehicle or another vehicle. So, and it would really be nice because it's a slow, like, growing company. Hobao has been around for quite a while. And I think like kind of what shows that their stuff does have a good quality is the fact that being such a small company, they're still here. So you know that some companies get crushed. Well, they didn't get crushed. They just got really put on hold just because of, you know, the pandemic. So Jonathan Davis, are you asking me that question? Do you like the DB Pro or the Laser Nut better? So far, because the DB Pro and the Laser Nut are basically the same vehicle, the Laser Nut is the base. Okay, so the DB Pro is the base platform for the Laser Nut. The Laser Nut is obviously just stretched. That's it. Stretched and it's taller. Reliability out of the box for the Laser Nut, it seemingly wasn't there. I've heard of rear carrier bearing issue. I mean, not carrier bearing, rear input differential issues for the bearing. I've heard of that. It is running on 4S, so its power system is, so it's still running DB Pro componentry, and they upped it to 4S, stretched the chassis, threw bigger tires and wheels on it. I think they had a bad batch of I think they had a bad batch of drive shafts. Seemingly like front, even though it's like literally the same exact thing front to back, but seemingly front. And I had taken off from that thing right there, which is never going to get run. I had actually, well, I don't know, maybe I will someday. I don't know. It's weird to actually have a vehicle that you don't run. I feel like I've never done that before, but the DB Pro was so awesome out of the box. That was the first time that like I bought a vehicle that, I don't know, it's still kind of weird. I don't know why I did it. Just, it was that good of a vehicle. DB Pro out of the box for me, flawless. Even with the conversion that I did, 3S, it's still running a speed pinion on it on 3S, which supposedly you were supposed to down it, but didn't make a difference. I threw Traxxas tires and wheels on it, which gave it that wider stance. Same height in tire. That thing rips. That vehicle's now my wife's. Because she likes it. She likes the way it performs or drives. And I've said all day that the DB Pro will make you feel like a better driver. It like almost drives itself. The laser nut, I think because I had an axle break like almost immediately, that kind of made me say reliability. I don't know, but it seems like it's fine now that I took the axle out of that thing. And I even have the Techno shafts. I guess I must have had a bad like axle because it's running Kaiju tires and wheels. Now, when my wife drove the laser nut, she crashed it and broke a shock end, a rod end, which is nothing. And when I drove it, I put on an inferior shock end, and I never should have done that, but it's all I had, and I still wanted to rip it. I don't know. You might have to like consider it yourself, whether if you think based upon the videos you see that I beat that laser nut down and it keeps asking seemingly for more. Mine's not stock. I'm beating on the drivetrain and it's taking it on 4S. So, and I run heavy 4S packs too. So they're not, I don't like those little joke battery packs. When I put a battery pack in it, I want it to have like the max amp rating that it could potentially have so I can run it for quite a while. You still haven't broken anything, you're not driving it. Just kidding. I don't know, guy. Then you've got, you know what? Trash Ninja, you've got the unicorn then, because my EXP, like other people that I've spoken to with their EXPs, it's the thing belongs on Craigslist. Mine, at least mine does. EXP after that diff problem is worth every penny. The just so you're aware, even the warranty LSD diffs are starting to fail, and there's going to be more videos out there of EXP diffs failing. Now the tires are stripping out. Not the tires. Now the wheel hexes are stripping out. Even mine's almost ready to strip out. Well, mine's like it's loose, and it shouldn't be. I've only driven mine 4 or 5 times. I'm not on 8S. I'm on 6S. I don't feel I've even had a chance to abuse that vehicle. And my wheel hexes are already chewing into the factory wheels. And it's not because the wheel nuts were loose. Man, I crank my wheel nuts. The more heavier, the more chance of breakage. Right. But I think that's a testament to the vehicles that I run. I mean, all of my speed cars, meaning except for the Hobao. So my Limitless is going to run 2 9,000 milliamp packs because I want that thing to like stick to the ground. Outcast, the DBXL-E, the Traxxas X-Max, if I can ever get that thing to run, that thing right there. Traxxas X-Max runs dual 9,000 milliamp packs. So, and the Traxxas, man, the Traxxas can actually take longer batteries, man. It's almost as if the Traxxas could potentially take like 12,000 milliamp packs. That'd be nice. I think I'd love to like have a 12,000 milliamp pack in the Traxxas X-Max. You know, a nice 100C, 200 burst, 12,000 milliamp pack. That'd be nice. Bernard, you broke your drive shafts like crazy on your Rustler until you went with steel ones, right? Yep. Jose, I see people bringing them into my work, and they do seem to have... I'm lost. Not paying attention. Dude. Extra busted, right. The hubs have too much play, even regular Creighton. Right. So Earl showed the Creighton V4 because the Creighton V5 is the new. So the Creighton V4 that he showed, the hexes, the hub hexes, were actually slightly thicker than the EXB ones. Like, what are they doing? GRC put out a video showing his hexes because he had already bought, I think, new tires and wheels. At least I think he did. Either that or he did the spacer. But Earl ended up buying new tires and wheels because his were stripped out. And why would you make the hex thinner? Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that to a wheel? Why would you not make use of the entire hex? So GRC thought it was his fault. So he didn't do a video about it. I think because, he was not wanting people to, burn him down because, saying that, oh, guy, you must have had your hexes loose. Now, I guess with Earl Moorhead, we might be able to think that Earl Moorhead could leave his lug nuts loose, but GRC, he thought it was literally his fault. So he didn't do a video on it until he saw Earl and I talking about it on the live. And then he did what he should have done. He put out a video and he was like, I thought it was me. I thought I was like the only one. And I think that's what was good about Earl's video was Earl was like, am I the only one? You know what I mean? And he already kind of, I suspect he knew that he wasn't. But it was good that he did it like that because what it did is it stopped me. He basically saved me from wasting money. And that's what's great about these YouTube videos and people that put out content is that you can potentially help people stop wasting money. So, and everybody's got an opinion. Somebody, will be out there and says that, the Traxxas Max is the, most amazing vehicle that they've ever had. And I myself, I want to agree with that, but I just can't yet. I've seen what the X-Max can do, but mine just can't do it. It seems like every single time I touch it, something goes wrong. Now, I will agree 100% that last time was 100% my fault, but isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that I finally get to take it out again and I'm like psyched and I'm thinking this X-Max is going to jump epically. It's probably going to be the best jumper. And then literally 2 minutes into the video, the rock that I moved or the boulder that I moved off of the jump so that I didn't destroy the big rock. Almost called it the hard rock. When I moved that boulder for the big rock off of the jump and the X-Max slams into it and breaks. Man, something was not on my side that day, man. God. And the poor kaiju. What about the kaiju? The kaiju is mangled now. That thing. Oh my God. I can't believe that that thing technically could have drove away. And that says something right there for the Redcat racing kaiju. Man, if you guys are out there and you like that style of truck, it's a trick truck. Man, if you like that style of truck, stop thinking about getting a kaiju and wondering if you should get one and just buy it. I think they're in stock right now. It would be a vehicle that is so worth your money. If that's the type of vehicle you like. Right, riffraff, right. Right, Riff, you're thrilled to finally have a kaiju? Exactly. Yeah, the thing is such a great vehicle. ARRMA needs to resize the wheel inserts. Right. So, James George, I wish I could post your thing. You're saying ARRMA needs to resize the wheel inserts, or do you mean they need to resize? Because M2C supposedly, granted, I didn't talk to M2C myself, but supposedly M2C, I believe, is looking into getting rid of this for us and creating, like, obviously something. It would be so easy. M2C is a genius, right? But fixing this would be so easy. All you literally have to do is just increase the back side of the wheel nut. That's all you would have to do for a redesign. There's nothing wrong with this hex except for the fact it's just not thick enough. You thicken that up another couple of millimeters, and that's literally all it needs. Insane. Insane that right there is a flaw on the EXP. But here's the question I have for you people, like right now. If you guys are paying attention to what I'm saying on this thing, was that built in on purpose? Because think about GRC. GRC thought it was his fault. Earl initially thought it was his fault. So what did he do? He went and just bought new tires and wheels because he thought it was his fault for not tightening his lug nut. And it's not the case. Is this a built-in flaw? Is this a built-in way of having to buy new tires and wheels? Like, I mean, I know that sounds kind of crummy. I've got other words to say, but I'll say crummy. I know this sounds kind of crummy that, you know, a company would do that, but why? Why do that when this was what you were supposed to have for a thickness? Do you know what I mean? Come on. And I know it never focuses. Never focuses on what I'm trying to show here. You know what? I'm gonna grab my caliper right now. I think it's over here. Is it over here? I'm just gonna measure it out. No, it's not there. And again, I'm not saying that ARRMA would do that on purpose, but do we really know for a fact? Because you know companies do things, you know, and it would be really stupid if that was what they did, which makes me say, no, that's not the case. So you can see my caliper zeroed out. So I'm going to measure this hex, which is basically 4 millimeters. Okay. So that hex is 4 millimeters. What's actually needed is this, which is over 5. So that's like 5.25? It's literally just a couple of millimeters off. Yeah, 5.2 something versus literally under 4. So we've got under 4 and over 5. So it's literally just like what? I want to say, in reality, it's 1.5 millimeters thicker is what would be needed. I mean, just that difference makes a difference. And I think that's what kills it. So why take the hex from the V4 like Earl showed or tried to show? Why take the hex from the V4, and when you put out a Creighton EXP, why give it a thinner hex? Doesn't make sense. Most likely the wheel didn't change. You know? I don't know, man. Trying to save weight. Is that what they were trying to do? Making it extreme, so they gave it some weight savings by 1.5 millimeters on all 4 corners? No, they built in, seemingly, it's almost as if a flaw was built in. I don't know. I'm not trying to pound on ARRMA. That's because I actually like ARRMA. I do. But how can you like it when you feel like it's like I'm being redundant with what I'm saying? But I would really like to know. I wish you could like really pick the brain of the people and get real answers, not softened answers. I'm tired of getting softened answers from these manufacturers because they're trying to save themselves. You know what I mean? Because it's not, because then you'll never know what to believe. Just so like it's easier for me, if anybody is asking me something directly, if you put the RC Guy Garage, like the @ symbol, it'll show up on me as a red thing. And that way I'll know, like, because most of the time, like we've talked about before, most of the time people literally just, you're talking amongst each other, which is what you should do. But it's just easier. What was the theory on the rear diff, KGM? What was the theory on the rear diff? It definitely wasn't a theory. It was proven. If you're talking to me about the EXB, the cup side of the EXB is concave, which obviously causes your washers to T-cup. Once your washers T-cup, you start to lose that, you lose the shim. So when you throw those washers in there, everything's nice and straight. Once things start to T-cup, you start to lose that spacing that you need to keep those gears in mesh. Mitch, it said anything over 1 mil will cause the issue. Right. Right. And that's like literally proven. Yep. Get the owner of ARRMA on your... The owner of ARRMA wouldn't step to a small show like this. And to be honest with you, I would not want to be overly negative because that may happen with me. Because once I start saying stuff, if the answer that I'm getting or the non-answer that I'm not getting, the interview probably wouldn't go well, if you get what I'm saying. Because I don't like... I'm a big person of not dealing with BS very well. And if I started detecting BS, it might just not be a might not be a good situation. I wouldn't want, people pummeling somebody like that, because of me and my negativity. I wouldn't want to try to bring negativity to it, but it may turn that way. I wouldn't be a good interviewer. I just don't think I would. I'm a good people person to a point. But once you start getting, what do they call it? Once you start getting this stupid sayings, I can't use the sayings. I will say that when I've seen Jason on interviews, he definitely seems to have a regular guy-ish kind of persona. He's speaking for his company. It does seem, like I said, it does seem like it would be a stupid move to make a hex smaller. It's just, who's really in control of all that stuff? Because while Jason may be, like, in my mind, the end guy, the guy that makes the decisions, it could have been in oversight. You know what I mean? The hexes, it could have been an oversight. So, I don't know. Josh Johnson, what's my favorite RC car? I have a few of them. I really like the DB Pro, which is that vehicle right there from Losi. I think it kind of goes by like scale. The Big Rock from ARRMA, the V3 Big Rock. Are you kidding me? For what that vehicle is, the value, the resiliency, it's a small little truck. It's a 110 scale, little ripper on 3S. Amazing. If you want a lower cost vehicle that will really rip and you can have tons of fun with it, the Big Rock from ARRMA. See what I'm saying? I'm talking ARRMA. So I don't have a vendetta against ARRMA. I also don't have a vendetta against Traxxas. The Traxxas Max. This vehicle right here. I like that vehicle. I don't really have any favorites. It's kind of like when somebody asks, me, what do I like better? Do I like Chevy, Ford, or Mopar? I like them all. We actually own a Honda, and I'm an American-made, car kind of person. Obviously, I got Ford hat, I got my Chevy hat, got my diesel power stuff. But we own a Honda. Why do we own a Honda? Well, because the CR-V at the time is a exceptionally well-rated vehicle. So that is probably the only reason why we own a Honda. Would I like to trade that Honda in for the new Ford Bronco? Yep. Is there going to be the Tesla Cybertruck in my driveway? Yep. Do I love Big Black? Oh yeah. Do I even I have a VW. I got a VW diesel bug. So I like whatever, like what I say all the time. Whatever puts a smile on your face, just do it. As long as you're not Charles Manson and that kind of stuff puts smiles on your faces, you're good. Is the Mojave EXB experiencing the same problems as the Creighton EXB? As far as I know, no. As far as I'm aware, no. The EXB in itself, the Mojave in itself, the way it's designed actually puts less stress on the drivetrain and suspension as a whole. Drivetrain wise, it puts less stress because of the size of the tire and wheel. So that's huge. It puts less stress on the suspension because of the body shape in a crash. There's a lot of protection with the Mojave. And then the Mojave, you can't like do everything, let's say, a good running Creighton can do. Go Bills. There you go, guy. Yes, Steve Waddell. You've heard good things about the Big Rock? Right, man, I'm telling you. M2C is doing upgrades for that V3, platform, which is awesome. Mendez, what's going on, guy? What upgrades do you need to run 6S on a... What upgrades? Nothing. Just realize that 6S is going to be like its should be limit for a trick truck. The only thing you may want to, and this is, you got to think about this. The only thing that you may want to consider, little spritz of WD-40 on the arms and the front bumper, not the actual bumper, but the actual bumper bracketry. So spray a little WD-40 on that stuff. The upper links, front and rear, unless you've got the updated upper links. If you have the updated upper links, they're a little bit stronger than the originals, but I like how Redcat does that. Redcat will find a flaw, fix it, and literally not say anything, meaning they're not going to say, hey, version 2. You know what I mean? They just fix it. They realize there's an issue, and they just square it away. But I did do the metal spur upgrade on mine, and should I have? Man, that's to be determined, because now that I've taken away that $5 repair piece that it just costs like $6, $5 for a new plastic, whatever it is, composite spur gear. Now that I've put metal in there, it is going to transfer that strength somewhere else. And I didn't get a chance to figure out where it's going to transfer it to, because it went full speed into a rock. Well, it wasn't a rock, man. That thing was a boulder. So you just got to figure out, I'd say look at the truck, maybe get like a extra spur gear if that's the way you want to go, and maybe stick with the composite, because that's going to be the weak point in the driveline, and to replace that is so easy. It's very quick to replace that. But yeah, just drop a 6S battery in it and just bang, bury that throttle. Have you seen that ARRMA has metal ring and pinion gears for the Big Rock? As far as I'm aware, isn't it RPM that has that stuff? But I think I know what you're talking about, Trash Ninja. Are you getting the new Mad Van? Come on, guy. Dan, guy. Let's put it this way, Dan. Would you shave off your beard? The answer would be no. No, of course I'm getting it. Should have said, would you not shave your beard? I said that wrong. Yeah, the Mad Van, man, I'm telling you, that is a fun truck. I think the only issue is because it's Kyosho, it's kind of seemingly a little tough to get some parts. So I can't run the Mad Van right now because my arm is broken, and well, there is actually there's an unopened Mad Van under there. It's like literally right. I think that's the Mad Van, right? Is that it? Yeah, that's the Mad Van right there. So if you see right there, there's a little, it's not that, but right here, right behind that Losi, there's a Mad Van in a box unopened. So could I start ripping parts from that to keep ripping my Mad Van? Yeah, but I just don't want to. The Mad Van's a pretty cool truck. So yes, will I be getting it? Short answer, yeah. Come on, guy. Definitely. Only for charity the beard comes off right. China quality control. I don't know what that was for. Again, like if somebody's talking directly to me, just do the @RC Guy Garage. That way I know you're actually saying something to me. Don't forget. Come on, everybody. Got 46 people here and only 39 thumbs ups. All the rest of them must be thumbs downs then. You do see it hiding? It's really hiding too, though. Yes, Trash Ninja, exactly. Your wording that you use right there, it really is a neat little truck for what it is. It's a small little van that you can go brushless, like I did. Brushed, it goes great brushed, but the motor just doesn't last long, especially when you're running 3S. And my opinion, get that ESC out of that little protective case. Take that ESC right out of there and mount it on the top. That's my opinion. It is a waterproof ESC. Get it out of the heat. I don't agree with that. They stuffed all the wires and the ESC like in this one little like hothouse. Just take that thing and like Velcro it to stick tape it or whatever to the top. Get it out of that little cage that it's in. That would be like literally a modification that you would probably consider. Brian, what's going on, guy? Way in the corner, is that a new box? Which one? What corner? I don't see any new boxes we talk about, guy. There's nothing there. Right. Rafa from Germany. What's going on, guy? Tuning in. That's crazy, man. You think about that, like the time frame. Mad van, perfect for bashing at a park. Yeah, kind of. I'd say right now, if people are, again, like we're talking about considering cars, there are certain cars that I think right now that I think they're like, I forget the phrase that I used. It's just like, oh, I called it a grab and go. So something like that ARRMA Big Rock V3, I call a grab and go kind of vehicle, because seemingly that Big Rock, you can grab and go and basically take it anywhere. It's small enough to be able to just throw it in the back of your car, your trunk, the front floor of your car, the back floor, whatever you kind of car you got. Just bring a couple battery packs with you, grab and go, just grab it and literally just go somewhere. I mean, let's just say like, depending upon wherever you work, let's just say you've got the ability to, rip it on your lunch break. You figure if you want to lose a couple pounds, don't eat and go rip your Big Rock. That I should take that. I should take that hint. But yeah, the Big Rock V3, like I kind of have, there's a challenge on my channel. It's a kind of challenge. It's just called the Big Rock Challenge. Realizing for me how resilient that Big Rock was, taking it to a place that I would consider more a fifth scale environment, and that Big Rock just handling almost everything that I threw at it. And the best part about it is that the Big Rock it tries to act like it's a larger scale vehicle. It's got the speed, it's got the resiliency, it's got the flight ability. So kind of on the RC Guy Garage, you know, thing. It's kind of like a Big Rock Challenge. Earl Moorhead already did it. Icon, I believe, is going to do it. I think Jess is going to do it. She was talking about it. I think she said something about Coach, but I don't know because I haven't heard anything, you know, from Coach. Also, if you do it, obviously tag RC Guy Garage in it. Do the hashtag RC Guy Garage, or do the @ symbol, whatever it is, whatever you're supposed to do. And that way, at least there'll be a notification so that I'll know, and then I can check it out and whatever. But it's basically, if you've got a big rock, just do not be afraid to push yourself and just squeeze that trigger and leave it squeezed and just send it. Just the parts are so inexpensive as long as you can get them. There are upgrades coming. There are already upgrades out there for the big rock. I've got actually hot racing front hubs coming for it because it's going to be the first upgrade. Might as well. It's the only thing that I broke. And what's nuts, that thing right now, I could still take that and drive it, even though it's broken. It's that well, I feel, put together that even though my front hub is broken, I only noticed it because it just wasn't steering as straight. That's the only reason why I noticed it. But it still rips. Could you cause more issues for yourself if you keep ripping a broken RC? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not saying do it, but I am saying if you got a V3, bam, just launch it. The parts are cheap. Even if you got to buy a chassis. What's the chassis? Like $15? It's nothing. And it's going to get you out there wrenching. That's kind of like the whole thing. The whole thing is to just have a blast at whatever you do. As long as you're not, like I said, I joke around. So as long as it's not Charlie Manson type stuff, you're good. Give us top 3 RCs to buy and top 3 to avoid. I can't. I'm not that deep into the RC world where I've had every RC. So I can't really give you a top 3. I'd have to give you a top 3 in my own collection, and that's not fair. And I'd have to give you a top 3 that would be a piece of garbage in my collection, which I actually... There's actually nothing in my collection that I could give you that would be a vehicle to avoid, actually. Because seemingly, well, wait a minute. And I don't want to say this, but my Creighton EXB is being, what do they call it? A PETA right now. So my Creighton EXB, me personally, this is just me personally, Trash Ninja's obviously having an awesome time with his. He's got no breakage. It's the best RC he's ever owned. I don't know if that's what he said, but Trash Ninja seemingly is having no issues with his EXP. Right now, for me, my EXP would probably be, and I don't want to say it, would probably be a vehicle to avoid. Just only because of my own experience, but that's it. There are probably other people that are like, you know, my God, guy, something's wrong with you. You just don't know how to drive. That's why the EXP is breaking all the time. And then my kind of response to that was, yeah, but it's supposed to be an extreme bash, right? And I haven't even had the chance to do that yet. I mean, everybody saw, or well, not everybody, but whoever saw the videos of my EXP, that thing was not extremely bashed. And it's, yeah, it actually belongs in the same garbage bag as that thing. And I don't like saying that because I do like ARRMA, and that's what's crazy. And I do like Traxxas. I want to experience the good of that thing right there. And hopefully I will, like, as soon as my parts order comes in, which I'm getting a little annoyed right now. I've got parts to make that thing run, and they're not in yet. Icon, what's going on, guy? I was just telling people that you're going to do the Big Rock Challenge, or at least I think you were thinking about it. Jess, you definitely are doing the challenge, right? Because I want to say you're doing it if you're not really doing it. Redcat Kaiju or an ARRMA Big Rock? Ooh. Mendez. The problem with that is the Kaiju, you can't compare the two vehicles. The Kaiju is more expensive, but it runs on 6S. I think it's, let's just say you run the Kaiju on 4S. It's a trick truck. It's short. It is amazingly resilient. When I show you guys like the damage from that full speed into a boulder by accident, that was by accident, man. I like the Kaiju. You kind of can't, I don't think you can really compare it because you have 6S to 3S. That's a massive difference. And the price is, it's more expensive. They're both great trucks. Jess, you're definitely doing it the best you can do. And Jess, that's the whole point. The whole point is to just be fearless with it. Don't be crazy unless you want to be. Be fearless. Just pull that trigger and, you know, try to get good landings. The whole point is to try to have the truck survive. So even on my own challenge, my truck did survive, but I did have a very minor breakage. But when you see what I did to it, that breakage was deserved, and to fix it is $5. To fix that is $5. So instead, my fix was $30 because I just want to upgrade that portion for now to see if that solves that issue for how I want to drive that truck. I really think the Big Rock is it's a win. V3. What's the next challenge? I have no clue, Frank. It's right now, it's probably weather dependent. I actually want to do something with that. Once the parts come in, I think Exo Cage right now has somebody that went 107 feet, 107-foot jump. I don't know if it was survived, though. 107 feet, I think, that X-Max jumped. It wasn't even his. It was just someone's X-Max. It's either 106 or 107 feet. I like the idea of that. That place that I go, that Diamond Dust, that has got the room to be able to do that. And I see the potential of being able to definitely, once I figure that thing out, I definitely see the potential of me smashing that record. I'm going to build a ramp. I'm going to do the whole deal. And the ramp that I'll build will be a nice ramp. What I mean by a nice ramp, it's going to be a good ramp for jumping. Yes, Frank, build a ramp, right. Yep. I guess even if it's cold, I'll still do it. Chassis is yeah, the chassis is like, it's like 15 or 17 bucks or something like that. Right. I know, Riff Raff, poor Kaiju. I know, man. Icon, you looking for a good spot? Nice. You're actually going out today to do it, Icon? The Big Rock? Dude, I can't wait to see it. Jess, you definitely don't want to land in the road. Don't, whatever you do on this challenge, don't make it a dangerous situation for yourself or potentially somebody else. Don't land in a road. That could be bad. I should have said that. Don't, on the Big Rock Challenge, don't put yourself or anyone in harm's way. But I think that's kind of like, you should already know that. Mitch Cowell, Kaiju tires and wheels on your laser nut. Which wheel nuts did you use? Oh, so I used adapters from Hot Racing. And I try not to, I won't normally put a link to a product that I'm testing out. But Hot Racing, like, I think it's a no-brainer. That hex fits so much better than my original conversion. Way better. It's from Hot Racing. Literally just look up Hot Racing 12 to 17 millimeter conversion, and it's going to be silver with the black Hot Racing thing. That I already recommend that. I already do, just because of what I'm seeing for performance, how much more stout the connection point is. Make sure you use thread lock when you install the adapter. But yeah, wow. And you have to use, well, at least for me, I used a Hobao Hex. In the description, there's the link for the Hobao Hex. Actually, I should go in there and change that. But in the description, there's a link for the Hobao Hex. And I'm just saying that's the hex that I use because it spaces the adapter away the perfect amount it needs to be away from the hub for the adapter, if that makes sense. Right. Yeah, just definitely don't land in the road. That's why I haven't done it yet. You've got to be able to find a place, Jess. There's no parks or anything near you that you could just put a jump, like bring a bike jump or something. You know those plastic bike jumps? There's a Big Rock Challenge, yes. You joined AMA. Did you know that their insurance covers ground vehicles in addition to... No, I didn't know that. Wow. But still, you don't want to put yourself ever in that position either, though. Don't just count on insurance to cover foolishness. What challenge am I talking about? What is the challenge? Come on, RC Master. Get with it. You're one of the moderators, man. Show everyone the new updated version of the Mad Van. I can't. I'm not on StreamYard. It's on the RC Guy Garage Facebook group. There's actually a link right to Kyosho. Provided by, actually, Sergeant J originally provided me with the link, and then I think one of the members posted it on the Facebook site. The Mad Van, it's pretty cool. I like the fact that they're doing that older, van style. Could you imagine if they did like an Astro van? Nobody would buy it. So they did it right. Sam from Florida, what's going on, guy? Michael, no problem, man. Yeah, dude, you're gonna. I mean, obviously, you haven't had to run those, or you haven't had the chance to run those tires on the laser nut, man. It changes the way that thing rips. Josh Johnson, get the Mad Van that's in the box out and fix your broken one. Ah, guy. That was actually supposed to be a project. It just never came to be because there's so many other things to do. The Mad Van in itself was going to be a modded, like, challenge project. And if Jo was here, Jo would know exactly what I was talking about because I actually talked to him about it. Right. Dan, right. Yep. Yep. The Mad Van was the product. Yep. I gotta tell you, man, I always loved the Monster Beetle. When I was a kid, man, I wanted a Monster Beetle just because of what it was. It looked cool. Drag pizza van. Riff Raff, you're close, man. You're so close, guy. Yep. Drag van. Oh, there's Jo. Jo knows. Drag van. But it was going to be a special drag van with the word drag, like, involved. 1/8 buggy, your favorite platform, and makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. That Earl Moorhead hates the Typhon so much. Yeah, but you got to figure the reason why he hates it is just because the out-of-the-box experience for him, he's not that type of vehicle driver. So that's, you know, that's why he's, and everything you got to know, just everything is personal opinion based. So, like, you know, my personal opinion right now about Trash Bag is very low, but that's only because I've only experienced all the low points right now. But then when you watch, you know, the V2 Vids guy, when you watch what he's done with this X-Max, I'm like, what? Why did I end up with a Monday, Friday build? Like, what does he have? You know, does he have special connections where he actually got an X-Max that runs out of the box? Frank, you still have the lunchbox on your list, right? Yep. Drag van sounds good. Dan, it's definitely a different concept for the Mad Van. The thought is still in there. I just gotta give myself the time to do it. Monday, Friday, you know it, guy. Monday, Friday RCs, they are out there. Everybody knows. I think literally, well, I was just gonna jump on the ARRMA train again, but I was gonna point blank say, I think the Creightons were literally only, or at least the EXPs were only built on Mondays and Fridays. At least I know mine was. Josh Johnson, you must have. I must have, man. But I am not the only one. I am definitely not the only one. When Earl, you know, saw my video about the motor slop and the realization that potentially the motor slop could have been what's causing his spur gears to constantly, I mean, he was going through spur gear after spur gear after spur gear until he popped his motor and checked the slop that I had, and he had a very similar slop, not as much as mine, but very, very similar. And then obviously, come on, the first battery pack, my rear bearings blew out. The first battery pack? Come on. Earl literally gave me, like I said, Earl gave me a laundry list before I bought the X-Max. He was like, if you buy the X-Max, make sure you 100% buy the rear RPM upgraded hubs. I did that. Then I started questioning, well, why doesn't RPM make the front? And like, I was like dying. Kept on searching. And then literally just one day, it was like not the prayers, but the request was answered. I literally went on the RPM website, or I went into Google and I typed in upgraded hub carriers, front X-Max, whatever, and bam, RPM had just released the brand new front RPM hub carriers for the X-Max, and like it was like a no-brain buy like right away, because my bearings were already starting to fail in the front. And how many times did I drive it? 2 times, and my bearings were already failing in the front. My rear hubs are melted. $4:45, right? Built on a Friday at 4:45 p.m. Or it was a very early Monday build. People so aggravated that they're back at work. They're all hungover. They're like, I don't want to be here. I just gotta get this Creighton over with. Wife bought you a Tamiya flower power. Oh, no way! We were just Jonathan Davis from Corn. We literally, I had that on last night's live because J.O. was talking about his Grand Hauler, so I decided to pull up the Tamiya website. And what was the first vehicle? It wasn't shared yet, but what was the first vehicle that I saw on there was that, what is it, the 14-window VW bus? And when I saw that, I was like, my daughter would actually love to have that RC. And then I put it on the live. That thing looks cool. It's total flower power. Right, the Blackfoot. Yep, the Blackfoot was one. Tamiya Sand Scorcher. Yep, nice. Right, Jess. Oh, I was totally psyched. I couldn't believe it. Because I literally have been kind of like begging for it, going, why doesn't... There's only one other person, I think it was Hot Racing, made front hubs with triple bearing. It's 4:20 in 20 minutes. Scorcher was a great RC, yeah. I do have can't see it, but right there next to the DB Pro, in between the DB Pro's box and the actual DB Pro, right there is my Kyosho Tomahawk. That was a fun build, kind of like a retro kind of thing. And then as you're building it, you're like, man, I'm glad that companies changed stuff as I'm building it. I'm like, man, I'm glad companies actually improved. Jonathan Davis, order a set of bearings if you get one. Get one what? Oh, right. Yeah. Well, everything. Doesn't everything Tamiya have bushings? That was always like the big annoyance. Like you would buy like a team associated, like, kit, or even like the Kyosho Ultima. You'd buy the kit and it would come with bushings, and it was like you'd have to buy the bearings as an upgrade, and it was like a no-brainer. Like, why would you? I mean, I remember running with bushings, but it was like, why? It was like, this is dumb. Yep. Right, Flower Power Van. Jonathan did right. Dude, you know what? I'm now that you're kind of saying that, how much was that kit, out of curiosity? Because I actually might wanna. I'm gonna punch into my here. I remember how to spell Tamiya. Hey, there we go. Tamiya. Let's see. How do I search within results? VW. I'm just going to literally type in VW. That's not a bad. Oh, it's on back order. I might actually. Now that's a kit, right? That is a kit. Because like every Tamiya is a kit, right? Come on, performance car. Flower power. It's got to be a kit, right? At least I hope it's a kit. What's crazy is this stuff about Tamiya that you just still don't like. You know what I mean? When you look at the insides of a Tamiya with the black plastic and the Phillips head screws, you know what I mean? And the plastic shocks and, you know, I mean, there's just like certain things when you look at it, you kind of like, you know, you kind of wish they would, you know, I don't know, make things a little different. But it is a kit, right? Yeah, it's a kit, on-road kit. That wouldn't be bad, man. My daughter actually might like that. That could get her into maybe building a kit. That would be kind of cool. Trash Ninja. I'm sure we have the van. I'm sure we have the van if want it at work. Yeah, but Trash Ninja, don't you live like in Europe or something? I know you don't live in Europe. You're too far away, guy. Can put a lot of power into them. Can you really? Comes with motor and brushless ESC for $170. So $200 when you add the bearings. Like the look, but never impressed by the running. Right. Tamiya definitely gives you that old school, I think, feel. Right? Isn't that the whole point of Tamiya, is kind of like that old school kind of feel? Tamiya Grasshopper, man. Grasshopper was such an iconic like vehicle. Someone's disliked. What does that mean? Like thumbs down? Yeah, there's always a thumbs down in here. Could you ask about shipping costs? You could ask about shipping costs. I'm not sure if it'd be free or not. Right, probably not, though, when you think about it. Dislikes still count. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's all right. Like I said, to each his own. Somebody doesn't like my channel. That's cool. It's their prerogative, you know. What's like right now, when you think about it, technically the stream is kind of turned into clickbait, right? Because we already talked about, and somebody said that one time, oh, your lives are clickbait. It's like, how? Because you're not talking about what you titled it. It's like, yeah, but that was like 3 hours ago. We're now just having a general conversation. Like somebody literally like fired off about my live, and it was just like, is there something wrong with you? You understand it's a live, right? It's like, yeah, but you're not talking about, what you titled it. And it's like, yeah, but somebody asked a question, guy. Like, come on, get with it, will you? City Plumbing, what's going on, guy? This is going to be your first time here, right? A Kyosho Javelin back? Right. Dude, there was so many, because that was 4-wheel drive. Wasn't there something called like a Comet or something like that? Or I feel like there was something called like a Comet. Daniel, here in the UK, what I'm assuming diff fluid did I put in the max? Love the video. So just remember that everybody's terrain and everybody's temperature makes a huge difference for whatever you use. But in this max, running at the temps that I run, which seems to be pretty broad right now, center diff is stock, so that's 20 million center diff. The front is 100K. The rear is 500K. The only reason why I do that was because the intent was to upgrade its 4 running bigger tires and wheels so that you do still get a little bit of the separation. But for this truck, the way it runs on those fluids for how I drive in the terrain that I primarily drive in, it's an animal. I love the way it drives. I just love the way it drives. And I might be used to also the steering of it too. So if you notice, like when you have a vehicle that's kind of locked up like that, you lose that tighter steering ability because you get less wheel separation, especially in the back. You get less wheel separation, which increases your turning radius. So it makes it bigger, but I counteract that with a little bit of extra throttle brake control. So, but that's the way I like to drive my wife's Max. My wife, it is her truck. It actually is her truck. I drive it more just because, especially right now, it's just too cold for her. Big and cool, man. Appreciate that. Got 56 thumbs ups. That's awesome. Frank, no. Well, for me, no. It's really that's what's so great about being able to tune these vehicles to what you want. Locking it up isn't always the best just because not having that separation causes, you just got to like think about how the vehicle is traveling. If both rear tires are constantly turning like this, and it's almost the same for the front, when you go to turn, even in loose gravel, the vehicle's still going to want to almost track straight, because when you go to turn the front, because there's no separation between the left and the right side, it's almost as if the vehicle still wants to drive forward, even though you've got your wheels cranked. Do you know what I mean? But that's why I'm saying I've changed the way I throttle and brake it so that when I want it to go into a turn, it's like a quick little bump of brake, which then puts the RC, obviously, into kind of that slide. And then you give it a little bit of a goose and it helps then turn it. You know what I mean? But what I like about that lock is that for me on that lock, it seems to help with the jumps, meaning I feel as though I'm getting maximum traction once that vehicle squats, once you hit that jump, because I'm not always full trigger. And I've cut some of that out just because some people literally just want to see the launch. But when I'm setting up for a jump, I'm usually, unless it's the Outcast, I'm usually not full trigger. It's like as soon as the vehicle gets to the jump and starts to squat, getting max traction, that's when I'll pull the last part of the trigger, which will then it'll get full max traction, nothing slipping, full max traction. And then as soon as it gets to that point of where it's just about when the rear wheels detach from the jump, at that point in time, I'm usually off the trigger. And that's normally when you can get that like better air control, or the ability to have air control, because you'll still kind of have throttle and brake and whatever to kind of help that out. That's just what I do. City Plumbing, you've been here before. I don't remember the name though. Maybe this is your first time in chat. Or maybe I'm just losing my mind. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, Frank, what were you saying? I can't see what you're saying because the curses are. Right, Frank. Yep. Right. Everybody, it's literally all in how you drive. Because each, like, you could, like, I could take my Max. Let's just, and I'm just gonna say Earl, okay? Because Earl and I like have similar kind of vehicles. So Earl drives a different way and sets his cars up a different way than I drive. Now, if we were literally to swap vehicles, it would take a little bit of a learning curve, I think, for both of us to relearn how to drive each one's vehicle. So my vehicle, my X-Max, is more locked than his. His is more opened up for tighter turning. And it might make it easier also for his daughter to drive her Max, or for his kids to drive, you know, the other vehicles, which is maybe why certain things are a little bit more loosened up for his terrain and for his style of driving. For me, it's just different. So it might take a little bit. He might try to drive this X-Max or this Max and be like, I hate it. You know what I mean? And I might drive his and go, you know, same kind of thing. Did you have a fix? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You haven't had the problem yet? Seen a few? Yes. So Dazapaka. Yes. So for mine, it's an odd fix. I took a regular wheel nut, took a regular wheel hex, threw the pin in, stuck the wheel nut into the rim, got my heat gun, super glue, and pliers, and basically stuck the hex in, put super glue around the hex itself, right? So it went down into the plastic, heated it up to the point of where the super glue was basically boiling. It was bubbling. And then took the pliers and basically applied pressure back onto the hex to reform it. And then literally let it cure and then popped the hex out, which was actually very easy to pop the hex out once I did that. And then that somehow, what I think is, because I boiled the super glue, I think it infused into the plastic, because that hex, since I have ran it after the fact, has not re-stripped out. Now that thing rounded out, meaning I could take the hex and literally just spin it inside that wheel. But I mean, the thing was still had tons of life, and that seemed to work. Now, I'm not saying that that's like the perfect fix. The better fix is probably the M2C Racing double lock nutted thing there. But even then, I don't have experience on that. I hear that it works, but I don't know. And I think he made something on it like a millimeter or something, 2 millimeters wider. I think it's only the threads, so that he could get that extra lock nut on and basically do a jam nut situation. I think that's what happened for the M2C, but I haven't bothered looking into it because I don't have the issue anymore. Well, City Plumbing, I'm glad you're here in chat. That obviously must mean that you feel more comfortable that, you know, that we're just a regular group of people that enjoy the hobby. How do you like the new solar color for the Max. It's pretty cool. Well, I mean, you see how I got that thing. I picked that thing out of all the other colors that were available for some reason. Even though I hate the name is stupid. Rock and roll. That's a stupid name. But I actually like the colors of my X-Max. Makes it so that I know it's mine. I actually do like the solar color. Oh, you would, oh, dude, wasn't that insane? City Plumbing, the one that thing. I think it ended up with. I think YouTube registered it as 101 likes on that live. That was insane. And then the next one, I think, got to 107. Like, you guys crushed it for the channel. That was awesome. That was crazy. Eric Miller, you just stumbled on this. I just stumbled on this video. Would you mind introducing yourself and give me a short explanation of what this is about? So, Eric, this live stream was basically about the swapping of wheels on vehicles that you have on hand and how it changes the way a vehicle, just a simple tire swap can change how a vehicle handles. You have like one vehicle that's designed for track. So it had like a carpet track style like tire on it. The vehicle itself was tuned for that type of driving, not tuned for bashing, and literally changing out to a different set of tires and wheels, which in the video was this tire and wheel combination from Redcat. How it allowed the vehicle to then just, that minor change, for it to wake the vehicle up to the style of driving that I do. Same thing with the Traxxas Max. The original stock tires on there, they're great when it's a small Max. When you throw the wide kit on there, I feel as though this size tire and wheel for the Traxxas Max reintroduces a very slight amount of tip back into the truck, but it changes the overall performance. You might have to gear it down by one tooth to get rid of the slight amount of cogging that it picks up, because it seems like the Traxxas Max is literally maxed out on its motor and ESC on 4S to not have cogging. At least that's my experience with my wife's Max. So that's what this show originally was about. But the lives usually get steered into a different direction because people ask questions and we just end up talking, and something else might get picked up in the show and all that. Hopefully that answers your question. Right. Right. Basically, you guys are in my house right now when you think about it. Yes, primarily focuses on cars and trucks. And real scale cars and trucks too. And every once in a while I'll throw in a plane. And basically the people that are in here, we're all just a bunch of just like regular guys, girls. I call everybody guy. Even girls. Girls are guys. Oh, the thumbs up. Right. Thank you, man. Right. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm not going to say that anymore. Everybody knows. If you want to subscribe to the channel, everybody just knows how to do it. And then every once in a while, I'll do a shout out to the channel. Like, I always tell everybody, if you want to learn how to film stuff, granted, he's definitely a pro now, but Peter McKinnon, if you want to watch and learn how to increase your ability to take pictures and or video, add transitions that you can do yourself, go watch Peter McKinnon. I had been with Peter McKinnon. I had subscribed to him early on a few years ago when he was just a smaller channel. And right now he is literally, I mean, he's been at pro level for quite a while, but just as his imaginative way of being able to teach is awesome. He used to do these things called 2-Minute Tuesdays, which was, he'd usually go over the 2 minutes, which was funny. But yeah, Peter McKinnon is definitely a good guy to go watch if you want to get some tips on how to film stuff. I've used his tips, and basically, I mean, my videos aren't at the level of, you know, watchability that way, but I've still used those tips to try to edit my stuff. Peter McKinnon, go check him out. One of these days, maybe he'll see me, Peter McKinnon, go check him out. Because literally, I just do it because, not because I'm looking for him to see it, but I just literally do it because he's, you know, when somebody's worth shouting out, why not? You know, it's not like he needs the subs. I think he's got like 1 million subscribers or something, or way over that or something like that. Trying to just catch up in chat here. Monster Jam from Germany. What's going on, guy? Creighton V5 or a Max? What would I buy? I actually don't have the version 5 of the Creighton, but if the Creighton V5 is really an upgraded version from the V4, I would probably say the Creighton V5. Although the Max is good, it's a smaller vehicle. And out of the box, you just got to know like what you're buying with the Traxxas, you know, Max. Also, if you guys haven't checked out the video that A-Main did, so right now, I have switched over from a prior company that I used to buy all my RC stuff from. Basically all my RC stuff, almost. I was shopping local, but it sometimes it just doesn't work. But if you're talking about a company that I primarily buy all my stuff from now that I've switched over from another company, I won't even bother wasting my time mentioning that name. A-Main is definitely where I go right now. If you haven't seen A-Main's video on Traxxas versus ARRMA, go watch it. It's actually a good video. A-Main did a very good job explaining why you kind of can't compare, in a way, Traxxas versus ARRMA. I mean, you can, but they just did a great job. I think that video was great. Keith, what's going on, guy? Right, the RC industry last year for 2020 exploded beyond manufacturers' capabilities. Isn't it crazy what that caused? It caused several things. Right, Jenny's, right. Right. You still have to always watch your prices from Jenny's. Jenny's is an awesome value, but just watch your shipping cost wrapped up with what you're buying, because sometimes you still might be able to find a better deal than Jenny's, but most of the time, if I'm looking for chop shop parts, Jenny's seems to be the choice. Right, A-Main does do good vids, right? Was it Hobby Quarters in Foxborough Saturday? Not a single axial 24 left, right? Dude, isn't that nuts? Keith, it's crazy. Well, I mean, think about it, man. Like right now, I'm surprised I'm actually not doing crawler content, but I mean, I'm not a crawler guy, but I can video a crawler pretty good. At least I think I can. I did a DC1, a Hobao DC1 crawler video that it was one of the videos out of like the 1,000 videos that I've got right now. And I joke, it's like one of the videos that I actually thought film-wise came out good. If you guys haven't checked out, if you're into crawling and you want to see, like, I think, in my personal opinion, my type of cinematic video for a crawler, go check out the DC1 crawler video that I did. I think it was called Mud Bashing the DC1 or something like that. It was just one of the videos that seemed to flow really well. Talk about, you know, a crawler. It seemed to come out nice. Right, they had lots of stuff, but you don't have the money for the lots of other stuff. Well, sorry, Jo. If I'll do crawler content, I'll do it. I like the way I do my crawler content because I feel it's different. I just know to expect a thumbs down from you. That's all. And I'm not a crawler guy. I've filmed a few crawler things. You have to record it at a high frame rate. And camera angles, multiple camera angles to get all the stuff. Tracker content guy. There is tracker content, but nobody wants to see that. Tracker is kind of a crawler, isn't it? Yep. Was supposed to be there for that one item, according to you, my friend. You love all RC, right? I do too. It's just I have a hard time with crawling. I mean, look at that thing right there. That thing has not touched the ground. That thing is brand new. I have not touched the dirt with that thing ever. And I got that like the day of its release. And what did I do? When I finally unboxed it, I unboxed it to steal its radio and receiver. Like, I mean, that's how much I like crawling. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's people out there with way more money involved in RC stuff. But I just don't do RC stuff. That's the thing. I do, like, you know, regular real stuff too. The one-to-one junk. Eric, it's just fun. It's something fun to do. And if you can share it, you know what I mean? If you can share it with family, if you can share it with other people, friends, and, you know, like you guys online, I mean, it's a blast to just get out there and rip it. You know, like I always say, don't be afraid to rip a burnout in your parking lot or your driveway. Just make sure it's your own property. Make sure you don't make your neighbors mad. Do a real burnout. You might like it. Right, Riffraff, a good transmitter, right? Man, if I could combine the two, this is what should happen. These two guys should get together and combine the GT5 to this. This thing needs the GT5 little circle thing. Crawling is a nice break, right? Yep, nice break from bashing, right? Because it uses, right, and Keith, I get it. It uses a different type of brain power. Because if you're trying to force, and I get it, guy, I've tried it. When you try to get over the obstacles or try to take that one single track path and make it, and make sure you make it. That's where I feel I think I know what you're talking about. I usually don't brake at, what is it? 1 mile per hour? Is that what that is? Yep. Different skills, right. Trail, crawling, right. Definitely different skills. Absolutely. And when I was doing the crawler stuff, I did try to push myself. I mean, people that know the channel know that that's kind of almost what got me back into it. Was my dog dying. I bought a crawler just to try to see if like it was something that I might like and get my mind off of the fact that he was gone. And it worked, but the crawling got old real quick because the bash, thrash, speed started coming back in and the crawler couldn't take it. And that's when the upgrade started happening, and then kind of just kept going. I did a couple videos and people were like, hey, what's that transmission? What are the drive shafts? You know, asking questions just like my other videos, like working on cars and building like tie walls and just doing like construction type junk. And then I was just like, wow, this is kind of cool because if it's helping somebody, man. Clayton, what's going on, guy? You built your own budget crawler? There's actually, you can't see it, but that right there is the bumper to a custom crawler build with portals and all kinds of craziness that I just don't have a desire to build. And that car right there, that's my DC-1. That's a crawler. What are we looking at for time? Alexa, what's the weather today?
In Plymouth, it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can look for snowy, rainy weather with a high of 41 degrees and a low of 26 degrees.
What are you talking about? That is not what the weather report was supposed to be yesterday. The weather report yesterday said it was going to be 44 and sunny. Now they're saying 39 degrees and rainy snow? That just literally ruined my whole day. The whole thing was I was supposed to go out and rip at Diamond Dust today. I've got cars ready. I got battery packs charged. Your Alexa just went off? Right. Oh, hey, riffraff. Now you know what the weather is for today. Keith, that's actually pretty cool. That's actually totally taking over your kaiju. That's pretty cool. What, say that again? Geoengineering, right? Trying to control. Man, I think this is another downer right now of living in New England is the cold. Man, you want to enjoy it when you get out there and rip it. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be so cold that your mouth can no longer talk. You know what I mean? Your lips get frozen, you can't form words anymore, and your fingertips are freezing, your toes are freezing. It's no fun anymore. And I used to be a snowboarder, and I used to love snowboarding. I don't know. I still have my snowboards too. They're in my case and everything. I don't even snowboard anymore. I don't know why I even hold on to them. I think it's like because I invested a good amount of money in snowboarding equipment. It's like, man, you have a foot of snow, Frank? -10. You can keep that. Right, Riff Raff, you despise the cold, right? Yep. Right, Frank. Same thing, yep. I sold all my dirt bikes and basically all my quads a few years ago. I actually still have one quad. It's a little 50 quad. I should work on that. I should literally bring that back. I should do some videos on it or something. Can we bring back the Cassia 50? It was my son's. Actually, my son and daughter's quad. 36 in Jersey. That's not bad. You have convinced me to buy. Dude, you know what, Josh? Josh, I don't think you'll regret it. It's actually really good. You've always been a Traxxas guy, right? You're not a fan, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't have, I mean, just because you like a certain thing doesn't mean you're technically a fanboy. It just means you like it. But yeah, Josh, I think you're definitely making a good choice. That because the Big Rock is so cheap to fix too. And upgrades are already out there and on the way too, so it's not a dead platform. Tortured, what's going on, guy? Yeah, you had to sell the big boy toys, right, to keep from hurting yourself, right? I will say I never hurt myself on my quad. I had a Honda. What the heck was it called? 400EX. That thing was awesome. That thing was fast. I used to race my buddy who had a Raptor. Not the truck. That was a blast. 400EX. Oh, I love that thing. That thing was great. Oh, the power slides. Love that thing. My buddy had a nice piece of property. We had like this oversized, like squarish oval track that had mud and it was awesome. Right next to power lines. We would just, yes, a Raptor. Yes, J.O. Raptor. You know it, guy. Yep. God, that Raptor was loud. I hated being behind it because it was faster than my 400. But the 400 still was awesome. Eric Miller. That comment right there, I appreciate that, man. That's cool. Josh Taylor, you used to run, or you run a Honda 300EX? Nice. Yeah, it was a yellow 400EX, man. Thing was awesome. Quadzilla. Right. Earl Moed, guy, what's going on? You must be on breakfast break. Earl's on breakfast break. Yeah, if I could pin that comment, Eric Miller, that's pretty cool. I definitely appreciate it when people, you know, are positive. A very cool skate park to bash. You know, there's actually a skate park in my town that because the Big Rock is what it is, I'm really considering taking the Big Rock once I get my new hubs. I think I'm gonna go to, like, this will be the first time in my own town that I've been to that skate park to run an RC. I've taken the Traxxas Max to the skate park and it did great, but it wasn't a very good skate park. But this other skate park actually seems kind of interesting. Nothing like what they have in like Cali in the UK, man. What's wrong with my town and skate parks? Right, Josh. Yep. Dan Beard, appreciate that, man. The committee is great too. Or the comedy or committee. Can't tell if you mean committee or comedy, because we kind of do have a committee. Kind of. The Blue Wrenches. Yeah, dude, I've really, other than taking the Traxxas Max to a skate park, I was not that skate park kind of person, but for some reason, I actually see me taking the Big Rock to a skate park. Could be the next Big Rock challenge from RC Guy Garage. Take your Big Rock to the skate park. Why not? You know? Dude, it's just fun. I think I'll have fun at it. It'll definitely be a new thing to learn. Skate rats. Not enough skate rats. In New England, right? True. I was a skate rat for a very short period of time. It didn't go over well with me. Guess it wasn't fast enough. Everything turned into like, my life was literally about cars and trucks. Like, for real. It's what I grew up around. The committee members approved the skate park idea. Nice. It's good to see. The Blue Wrench Society, right? Yep. Yep. Right. The smaller, lighter trucks are good, right? Cost less to fix, right? And that's why I feel like I'm gonna be okay taking the Big Rock to the skate park. Bushwalker, what's going on, guy? Last night, Chef Beardsley he's awesome. Chef Beardsley's definitely a good guy. Yeah, Chef Beardsley was actually my second moderator in the Facebook group, and also the second moderator in this. He was the second Blue Wrench. He was the second Blue Wrench that I hired. That was gracious enough to accept the Blue Wrench. Does it make you a scooter rat? Because you're like, no, yeah, kind of, but that's a good thing though, Josh. If you like scooters, man, that's pretty cool. Dude, some of the things that I've seen people do on scooters is pretty crazy. 30-second skate park challenge for RC Guy Garage, right? Will the Big Rock last 30 seconds? Come on, guy. It'll last longer than that, I hope. I mean, think about it, Earl. Wouldn't that be cool? A bunch of people have big rocks. There are skate parks around. It would be a cool thing to do. Just to get out there and rip a skate park with the big rock. And the challenge is really, all the challenges is literally just challenging yourself to just like have fun. To get out there and get a little bit of that full trigger ripping. Gotta have my wife fix that. Do we? Bushwalker, when you say the Outcast, do you mean the 8S or 6S? Or isn't there a 4S version of the Outcast too? I think there's a 4S. I'm assuming you must be talking about the 8S. I'm telling you right now, my Outcast has a fist punch dent in the chassis, and it's not exhibiting any issue. A fist punch, like no joke. If anybody saw Rocky, the one with Rocky and Drago, remember when Drago was punching that thing when he's in Russia and he's punching that, you know, the punch pressure machine? That thing, that chassis was punched by that Drago guy, by a rock. And that Outcast took it and just kept on ripping. Let's see. The only skate park around you is fenced in. Does that mean you can't get into it? Or do you mean you're worried about smacking into a fence? Because that might not be a bad thing. Big Rock skate, right? Big Rock skate park challenge, right? Will it last, right? Will it last longer than guys, right? That could be a good one right there. Yep. Venom, what's going on, guy? Sandman held you hostage. A little tired. What is my favorite RC? What are you saying, Eric? What is your favorite RC? What did you start off with? What got you into this hobby? Okay. Very easy. What I'm gonna do is at some point I will pull out a couple of pictures that I have in a photo album of when I was only about 9 to, my guess is I was like 9, 8, 10, somewhere around there, somewhere around those ages. And I had RC cars. But the one car that will forever be in my memory that probably started me really liking RC cars, and this is going back years, so some people don't even know what this is. It was a Tyco turbo hopper, 9.6 volt. It had the 2-speed transmission in the back, 2-wheel drive, buggy, which is probably why I like those open cage, open wheel type of buggy vehicles. Is probably because of that Tyco turbo hopper. That thing was a blast. And that's probably what got me into liking it. My first hobby grade RC was I waited and I got a used Gold Pan RC10. Then, because I liked that RC10 so much, I bought my own RC10 kit with the bearing upgrade and everything. I think it was the RC10 Worlds or something like that? Something like that. My third hobby grade RC was a Kyosho Ultima. And then I think after the Ultima, if I remember correctly, I was already into planes, so nitro planes. I was into planes after that because we lived on a pond. And I had boats, I had planes, all nitro. And then after that, I think my first monster truck was a T-Max. So it went T-Max, then I got an E-Max, then I got an E-Revo, and then, yeah, then more planes and helicopters and all that stuff. So hopefully that answers your question. Tyco Turbo Hopper. I'm going to pull that picture out. I'm just a little kid, and I'm ripping it in snow. And those things were not waterproof. How'd I find out? Found out pretty quick. But it still kept going. You just dry it out with a hairdryer and rip it again. Good time with that little Tyco Turbo Hopper. One of these days, I would love to just get a Turbo Hopper just to have, like, to put it, like, I guess, put it on a shelf. To be like, well, this is kind of where it, what started me liking RC stuff. Tyco, baby, you had one? Right. Yep. Yep. Hopefully that answered your question. Eric Miller, you remember that? I'm telling you right now, my Outcast has a Drago fist punch to the chassis. I said Mike Tyson, but it's more like a Drago fist punch. It's literally, it's got like knuckle punch. Like, dude, it looks like somebody hauled off and just went like, go ahead, break me. I must have break you. Right? Remember that? Drago? Or what did he say? I will break you or I must have break you. I think he said, I must have break you. That's what that rock said. That rock said that right to my Outcast chassis. And the Outcast is still ripping. Happy Jack, what's going on, guy? Shane McCain, what's going on, man? Yes, Chef is definitely, he's upped his game on his content and his videos. His last Outcast video was awesome. He does good lives, which is great because he's learning while he's doing it, which is awesome. And he's not afraid to, make mistakes and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, he does, but he's not afraid to not know and say it, which is great. Oh. Yeah, I had the 2.5 T-Max. You'd like to see the picture? I'll get it out. I just got to find the album. I'll try and find that album today and maybe I'll put a post on both Facebook and YouTube of that picture, where it all began kind of thing. That's what I should do. If you've got an old picture of where it all began, here you go. Dirt jumps would be fun with a big rock or trash bag, right? Yeah, eventually trash bag will jump something. Trash bag was supposed to jump my truck. I don't think there's a lot of people that know that. The plan was to actually have trash bag jump my truck, but at the time it was not jump worthy. I would not want to jump my truck with trash bag because it would have hit my truck. Yes. String line, tortured, line control. Yep, I had one of those, a line control plane. Those were a blast. Little tiny Cox engine. Yep. That was super cool. Man, the stuff that we had that we thought were awesome. KB Toys, there you go. Right? KB Toys. Whatever started it for you, Child World, KB Toys. Yep. Keith, what's going on, guy? Yeah, I must have break you. There you go. I must have break you. Why? Yeah, it was the fist punch that my Outcast has on its chassis that it's really feeling no pain, amazingly. Trash bag is house jumping worthy. Yeah, it'll jump a doghouse. That's about it. Well, I get some Traxxas X-Max people hating me. Yeah, trash bag. The only thing you can jump is a doghouse. Radio Shack, right? I had a couple vehicles from Radio Shack. As a matter of fact, does anybody see that red vehicle right there? I wonder, does anybody know what that red vehicle is right there? That's a special project right there. But the red nose, that's the nose of a particular RC vehicle. And I wonder if people know, because that was from Rat Shack. That's what they call Radio Shack over here, Rat Shack. Doghouse, right. Smash that bell, right. And see, you know it, man. No idea? One of these days, that car is going to make its entrance or appearance. Yeah, I know. Frank, I know it's supposed to be a beast, but I can't say that yet. I see what other people have done with their X-Maxes, but I just can't speak to it yet. Because mine just does not agree with me. You know it, Eric Miller, Rat Shack. Yep. Arrowhead. You want to jump your truck with an 8S rig? Right. Video it, but you're too afraid of smashing into the ram, right? Yep. You'd ram your ram. You would cry, dude. Yeah, think about it. Imagine if the thing just blew right through the windshield. Like you just hit the jump wrong and you just like the RC ends up in the front or back seat. Oh, that would be horrible. How do you explain that to the insurance company? Yeah, I don't know. Just came out and my windshield was exploded. Must have been like a comet or a meteor hit my truck. Just get like a burnt rock from a fire pit and like put it in the back seat and go, I don't know. Must have been a comet or a meteor just like came out and like last night just blew apart my truck. 81 likes. Nice. Love it. Falcon, what's going on, guy? David Douglas, the Golden Arrow. That looks like a challenge, right? Frank, I don't know if you want to... Frank, I've seen your driving, guy. I don't think you want to jump your truck because it's going to end up inside the truck. Trash bags like a good taco. It's... right. Earl, that's a good one. Trash bags like a good taco. If it's not good till it's broken. It's not good if it's broken. Right. That's your next vid in the spring, me doing a burnout while jumping DR10. I think you're saying the DR10, right? You must I think you typed the DR10, I believe. Come on, Frank. Frank, is that are you Frank Sluga or are you a different Frank? You could even be a different Frank, but the similar name. You know what? I'd say Josh Taylor. I know you're not asking, but I'm telling you right now. No, an 89 D100 pickup. All right, you must be someone else then, Frank. Because there's a Frank Sluga on the channel. Eric Miller, guy, dude, thank you for that. That'll go towards trash bags parts that are coming. supposedly at some point. STL, what's going on, man? But Josh, gonna be hard to beat. You know what, man? Even though I have an issue with my X-Max, everybody knows that the X-Max really is actually an okay truck. I just can't say it yet. I do not have a good experience with my X-Max. Out of the box, all the issues that I had, I just don't have a good experience. I am running a Spectrum 160 amp 8S system with a 1650 kV Spectrum motor, which I love the fact that I press the button on my X-Max to turn it on and it does the Spectrum noise. I think that's like a nice little smack the Traxxas right there. My rear bearings blew out, so I'm running the upgraded RPM rear and front hubs. I am going to change out the spur to the 46 that I've got. I'm going to keep a stock pinion, change out to a 46, and that's it. And run it on those 9,000 packs. Those 9,000 Z packs really are good. They're not these, but it's the same company. But the 9,000 4S Z packs, man, wow. But Eric, man, thank you for that. Definitely appreciate it, brother. Oh, so Frank, when did you change your name? That's what's so funny. People can change their name every 5 seconds, and you don't know who you're talking to. Frank, then you know you've seen me. You know I've seen you drive. Your Max is a beast after the wide kit and axles. Right. Earl actually noticed, I believe he actually noticed a smoothness difference in the drivetrain between the stock plastic axles to the axles that he has now doing the upgrade. Josh, do you notice the same thing? Did you notice that from the stock to the metal axles, do you notice that it runs smoother? It would kind of make sense. 83 thumbs ups. Boom. I see 84 on my end. Mitchell, guy, what's going on? There's small clips on Facebook I can drive, right? Dude, you've done some pretty nasty crashes. I'll try some Z-Packs. Josh, man, I'm telling you. Those Z-Packs so far, I'm really liking them. And I don't usually talk about, well, I try not to talk about battery packs other than maybe Zot Pops that I always have issue with. And I will never buy another Zot Pop. I don't care. I don't care what person tells me that Zot Pop is awesome. I will never buy another Zot Pop. The issues are just too much from my personal, like, whatever. They just do not, they're 50%ers. Yes, Keith. The Z's balance pretty well. Yep. I totally agree with you right there. Those are all the posts it's about. The thumbs up guy, right? Zot Pops. Yep, there you go. RC Master. Yep, RC Master knows where those things come from. The Zot Pops. And granted, I don't have 1,000 Zot Pops, but having the 12 Zot Pops that I have, whatever they are, nope. Cannot waste my hard-earned money on pieces of garbage batteries. Only Gen's Ace, right. Some people like Gen's Ace, right. You know what, Thomas? I'm having an issue with my Power Hobbies. So initially I was on board with Power Hobby, not anymore. Wait till you see my video on the Power. I only own 2, so maybe I've just got the 2 worst Power Hobby packs out there. But somebody did post a brand new Power Hobby pack that burned down his shop. And he was a very safe in my opinion, based upon what I saw, he explained himself as a very safe LiPo battery charger individual. But he burned his shop down. Well, not down, but he charcoaled his shop. Robert, we'll see you later, man. You have a Z60, and it's better than your Electron. Wow. I think Earl likes Electron Pros. Put a Gen's Ace in trash bag. Why? Because you want it to burn down? Telling you, I like the way those 9000Zs fit in a lot of like the larger scale vehicles. See, Frank, you just did the icons and it blocked you. Yeah, Ovonic Air also. Ovonic Air LiPos are very good so far. For what they are, they're 50C packs, but Ovonic is coming out with higher end battery packs this year. So hopefully, as long as the quality holds on Ovonic Air, I'll be trying those batteries out. Bushwalker, I don't understand your question. Should I vent my AMOC and for LiPo batteries? I'm not sure what you're saying, Bushwalker. Oh, your ammo can? No, I wouldn't. Why do you want to vent it? Also, you're better off charging like I tell people to go and get those you can find those metal truck boxes on Craigslist all day long. You can find them for like sometimes $25-$40 for like a diamond plate truck box. Pick one of those up and just leave it outside. Put all your LiPo batteries in it. It gives enough space so that you don't have like one LiPo battery igniting another. Because that's always my issue is that, like you watch Kevin Talbot, right? He's got that metal enclosure that he puts all his chargers and all his LiPo batteries in, right? Well, what's going to happen if one of his LiPo batteries catches all of the LiPo batteries on fire? Because it looks like how he stores them. It looks like he literally stores them like all on the same like level and trays and all that stuff. And if one of those batteries goes up, it's like he's going to have Chernobyl like right in his shop. People have said that Gen Ace are good. I don't have any experience with Gen Ace, but I've heard people say that they're good. I got experience with a few batteries. Crispies, what's going on, guy? Shade Tree, what's happening? You use an electric smoker? For what? If a LiPo goes in an ammo can that isn't vented, it can basically become a bomb. Are people literally locking the ammo cans when you can't? Wait a minute, Jo. I'm confused about what you're saying. Are you talking about if you put a battery in an ammo can closed? And I don't see how it becomes a bomb. Because if you're charging in an ammo can, like, I don't see why somebody is closing the lid, like latching it. But what do I know? I don't charge in an ammo can. I don't know. I like the truck box. Or just charge it right on your rug. Just go in the living room and just charge your battery right on the couch. The only LiPo fire that I've ever had was my Samsung Galaxy Chernobyl 7. That thing lit up right next to me on the couch. Channel 5 News was here and everything was crazy. Right. It'll be right. No, dude, Gary Mitchell, it's not going to be the 4th of July. If anybody has seen, depending upon how many batteries you've got, man, it's going to be the next Chernobyl's elephant's foot. If you don't know what Chernobyl elephant's foot is, go look it up on like Google or whatever. Go look up Chernobyl elephant's foot. If you've got a stack of LiPo batteries, that's what it's going to be. Chernobyl's elephant's foot. Does anybody cycle them when not in use? You probably should, Robert. I don't. I think because I'm always using them, but then you start to realize that 2S packs, like especially like now for my channel, I've gone like far away from any 2S pack anything. And I have 2S packs like that probably are not in good shape right now. You store your batteries in the dishwasher. Right. Immediately. Yep. An immediate sprinkler system. There you go. Charging boxes must always be vented. Well, there you go. There's your answer. I like the bomb scenario better. Pressure equals explosion. Yeah. The way I look at it, if there's no oxygen for the fire is going to go out. Right, guy? Come on. If there's no oxygen for the fire is going out. Right. You hesitated to bring batteries into the house. Right. It's a good idea to not have your batteries stored in the house. Oh, think about this battery that I just brought out to your guys' attention. This was stored in my house. This was stored in my cabinet. Look at that thing. Look at the case. How do I put the case back together? This is the case. This battery was stored in my cabinet. Look at it. The whole thing is warped. This is just a little battery bank. Mendez, should you buy an X-Max used or new? Man. That's a tough one to answer too, because the only used RC that I've ever bought was that one. Oh, well, no, actually was my Emax. I actually had a second Emax that I bought used, but I bought it as a parts vehicle. But as far as a running vehicle, the only used RC I ever bought was that RC10 Gold Pan when I was a kid. I'd say, Mendez, you'd literally, if you're going to buy an X-Max used, you probably have to thoroughly go over it and know that it was probably treated like a Craigslist, like has no rust vehicle. You know what I mean by that, right? It's tough buying used. Let's put it this way. I don't know if Earl is still here, but Earl bought a used something. I am not going to speak to what it was, and even him being a real car guy and a fairly like well-educated, RCer, even the vehicle that he ended up with wasn't what he thought he was paying for. So you got to be careful. Your Mac computer puffed its battery and broke the mouse? Wow. That's crazy. And then again, you can probably get an amazing deal used. Right, there you go, Robert. Depends upon who had it, but you still never know, Robert. Think about it. Even these people buying these cars with the Carfaxes, like, oh yeah, I bought my car because it had a clean Carfax. How many mom and pop shops and like mom and pop, and there are mom and pop automotive auto body shops have gotten a hold of that clean Carfax car and it was a wreck You know what I mean? Not everything is done like the right way. Let's put it this way. Jess, I don't think is here anymore. Jess, the Jessica RRPD guy, she got taken. She bought a Creighton, or thought she was buying a Creighton, and she got taken, like, pretty bad. Somebody took advantage of the fact that she didn't know what she was buying, and someone took advantage of her. And she's a girl, and that's not cool. I'm not saying anything bad about girls by saying that comment, because that's going to be the next thing. What do you mean? You're saying that because it was a girl, she didn't know? No, she just point blank didn't know enough. So even a guy could have got taken. But she just didn't, as an individual, didn't know enough, and she got taken thinking that she was buying a Creighton, and she didn't. Well, she bought it, but she didn't actually end up with a Creighton. Frank, you're right, except for the Note 7 I had. My Note 7 exploded right next to me. It was not charging. It wasn't even fully charged. It was sitting next to me doing nothing. And I treated that phone like a gem. And that thing exploded on my couch right next to me. It was like a larger, oh, you know what? Let's just say it was more like a, like those ST's rockets, the little loads that you put in, the little ST's rockets. It was like that went off right next to me on my couch. Whole first floor of my house was all nasty lipo, plastic burned, just nasty smoke. Just from a little Note 7. No, it's not legal to carry lipos on a plane. Nope. No, because by chance it could catch fire, and you know what I mean? What are you going to do? So as of right now, I 100% believe that it is completely illegal to carry lipos on a plane, except like computers and phones and stuff like that, I think. Because even for a time, because of the Samsung Note 7, if you had a Note 7, you could not fly with it. Yes, riffraff, right, the E things there, right. Yep, those explode, right? Light people's pockets on fire. Lipos are limited capacity on a plane. Right, so you mean like RC-like batteries probably couldn't go, right? Just need to have them in a lipo bag and declare that. Really? Wow. I figured still at what, an M80. I figured it was still like my Raptor 2 skateboard, as far as I'm aware, cannot be on a plane. And I think because the battery capacity is so massive. You traveled to Italy with some of your lipos? Wow. That is, I didn't know that. That's surprising. Your buddy does it all the time? Well, that's good to know. I thought you literally had to have them like ground shipped. Because most, as far as I'm aware, right? Don't most lipo batteries right now, aren't they just ground shipped? Why am I confused on that? I thought when you buy a lipo battery from, let's say you buy it from a place, aren't all lipo batteries, at least in the United States, ground shipped and not air freight? That's crazy, Sergeant. Yeah, my Raptor would never. My Raptor, they'd look at it and go, ha, 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 yeah, right, guy. You're not taking that thing with you. Right. Okay, Keith. That's a good one, guy, right there. You can have a lipo bomb in a whatever it is, in a sack, in a lipo sack, but you can't have shampoo. Right, because everybody thinks it's a bottle of C4, right? It's liquid C4. Yeah, but Frank, how do they check? Do they have lipo cell checkers and they check to see if it's in storage mode? Junk callers. Don't call my house. Sergeant J, you're wondering how you were getting away with this, right? Huawei, they take your word for it. Lipo plane rules, right? You just have to have common sense, right? You know what's funny? Hello, you're on the air with RC Guy Garage. All right, so let's put it this way. Here's kind of like maybe think about it this way. If you know, maybe turn it into a conscience matter. So let's just say, like, you've got lipo batteries. You can either be the guy that, you know, is going to go against the rules and say, oh yeah, all my batteries are in storage charge. I have under the max quantity or whatever. And you know, you're the other guy that, you know, has fully charged lipo packs and like they're ready to explode. You've got like Chernobyl's elephant's foot, right? I don't think, for me, I hate to say it, and I know this might sound crazy, but I actually think myself personally, I would feel better and it would cost more, but I feel I would rather not put an airplane in jeopardy with my own, and this is my own personal opinion and feeling about it. That's all this is. I'm not trying to impress my whatever, my conscience or my thoughts on anybody else. It's just my thought. I would rather either where I'm going, buy new battery packs or whatever. I would just, for myself, I would feel bad if my battery packs are what, like, down to plane. And I know that's probably sounds like it's way, like, you know, off the wall, like, you know, what's the word? There's a word for what I'm trying to say. It has something to do with like being scared or something. I'm not afraid of lipo batteries, but I would rather not have that on my conscience. Like, let's just say, like, I don't know, somehow my battery packs or my bags ended up on a separate plane going to the same destination, and that plane went down, and they ended up like somehow saying, you know, lipo batteries caused that fire. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's certain like levels of something that I feel like I myself, I'd rather not. I'd just rather not. But that's just personal opinion of mine. I think I'd rather buy battery packs from where I am and maybe ground ship them or something. Maybe just even ground ship my battery packs instead. You know, I don't know. Try to be, you know, sensible for myself. That's it. But that's just my personal opinion. That's it. Might be stupid, but just conscience, kind of like conscience matter, maybe turn it into your own conscience matter. That's it, though. Just conscience matter. I think I'd rather ground ship it, be safe. You can have things like literally, what, ground shipped in a day? Unless you're going, like, on a plane. Then you just literally just, I don't know. I wouldn't fly on a plane with RC cut, right? But, right, okay, so you got the same thing. Right, but here's the thing, Earl. Here's the thing. You might not, but how do you know that the plane that you're flying on, the guy behind you's like, I got like 50 lipos in a bag. You know what I mean? You might be the guy that had your battery pack shipped, but the guy behind you, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, I got like 50 of them fully charged lipos sitting in the, whatever it is, the cargo area right now. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's, Riff, I don't know if it's really necessarily stupid. It's everybody's got their own opinion of how they want to do things. You hate flying? Right. That's, and again, like I said, that is only my own opinion. That's it. That's what I would do as me feeling like being responsible for my own conscience. I'd rather have them ground shipped or just buy like a couple battery packs wherever I'm going. And then, I don't know, look at it this way. Let's just say like, I don't know. Let's just say I went to California to go visit a fellow RCer at some point, okay? I would rather buy battery packs there and then, to be quite honest with you, take those battery packs and either give them to him or his kids or give it to somebody else that maybe didn't have batteries and needed them. Just seems like, you know, safer that way. Safer is better than sorry. There you go. Good one. Feel the same way about the issue. Bought new lipos and had them. There you go. Dude, Josh Taylor. Awesome, man. Yep. You don't even like loading image, right? You know what, man? I even don't like leaving my lipo batteries in my truck or my wife's car overnight. And that's, some people would think, you're crazy. But it's my personal opinion. It's my conscience. I'd rather not have my wife's 2017 Honda CR-V burned to the ground, which will then catch all of our other vehicles on fire. You know what I mean? Well, that'll be terrible. Because I got to tell you right now, Big Black is worth more to me than it is to my insurance company. Nothing at this point in time. Like, if Big Black got totaled, the money that they're going to give me for my truck is a joke. I would never be, what would I do with the money that they gave me from an insurance claim? Nothing. What am I going to, I mean, I've got a perfectly running, driving beast of a truck that can push, you know, 1 million pounds of snow. I can mow over a house with it. I can pull stumps with it. You haven't seen that video. Big Black is a stump puller. It's a snow mover. It's a machine. But if a lipo battery caught Big Black on fire and Big Black burned to the ground, nothing would be able to replace that truck. That truck is like the unicorn of the Ford 6.0s. Nothing could replace that. At least I wouldn't be able to afford what I would need to replace that truck. Guys, stop buying Fords. Nah, never. Nope. What's Fabrico? What's Boa Tarde? I don't know what that means. Chevy all the way. There you go, man. Got the hat right there. Chevy, Ford, Mopar, Honda, whatever you like. Toyota, whatever you like. That's the way I look at it. Whatever real car makes you happy and puts a smile on your face, and hopefully you can at least do a burnout with it. There you go. Well, why do you think like all those trucks, all those vehicles were in the bed of Big Black? Because if one lights up, you know, the bed's not going to catch on fire, or there's more chances or less chances of the bed catching on fire. But that's why all those vehicles after the bash were also in the back of the truck, because every vehicle, even the ones that crashed, the batteries were disconnected, but still left inside the back of the truck. And maybe that was foolish, but also with all those cars, I also didn't want to slam them on top of each other inside the truck. Frank Sluga, guy, dude, I'd wear a Mopar hat all day. Somebody gave me a Mopar hat, you kidding me? It would be on my head, bam, that day. Thumbs up for those. You saying, Keith, are you saying thumbs up for the Ford diesels? Yeah. You know what I got to tell you, man? I had a 95 Toyota SR5. That was an awesome truck. It actually wasn't mine, but it was mine for a period of time. That was awesome. I love that little truck. Little Toyota SR5, man. That thing was sweet. 5-speed. Ah, thing was a riot. That thing was a little ripper. If you had a Tesla truck, you would turn it into your mobile ramp. Right, there you go, right? Already has a ramp. Man, I'm telling you, I'm really hoping that Tesla Cybertruck is going to be in my driveway. We'll see. We'll see how the channel goes, because the channel is supposed to pay for it. Come on, guys. Share, like, subscribe. I'm not supposed to say subscribe anymore. Right. Integrity, right. Yep, the old Toyota SR5s, man. Those things were a blast. Once you run the packs out, you feel better tossing them, right. Don't forget to balance charge your Tesla Lipos, right? Yep. Right, Robert. So see, A-Main did a great video on the Traxxas and ARRMA. In 07 RAV4, right. You know what? The only issue that I have about the RAVs is when you shut, like, I don't know about your 07, but what was I working on? There was a RAV that I did some work on. I can't remember what the year was. But when you would shut the door, like when you shut the door on your RAV, does it really have, like, does yours have that, like, hollow tin can, like, odd sound when you shut the door? Because that was the first time that I jumped in a RAV and I shut the door and it just had like that tin can, like, ding, kind of like when you shut the door. Robbie's RC, what's going on, guy? Right, the felony high-speed crash. Right, what did he get to, like 84 and wiped out into the curb? Bad. Yep. If you get the Cybertruck, you have to take it to... Dude, I will, but I ain't gonna send it, though. We'll have to see. It is... So, supposedly, when the Cybertruck comes out, it is supposed to be Baja ready. And it's funny that you say that, because there are a couple of little spots over at Diamond Dust that you guys don't know about, that if the Tesla Cybertruck is really Baja ready, we might see like a little jump of the Tesla Cybertruck. That's if it ever makes it to the channel. It's supposed to. I do have it on order. I do have it. The tri-motor. Yep, it's on order. It's only $100 to order it. Why not? Right, the Tesla is basically a huge RC. It really is. Dude, I can't wait to see the final. I can't wait to see the final of what the Cybertruck's going to look like. Right, just a little send. Right, you got it. Just a little send. Why not? It's still a send. No insulation in the headliner, and this started happening when I took mine out of the old truck. Big Bertha testing the Tesla, right? I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see if Earl was going to jump his Tesla Cybertruck. Next time on Earl Moorhead's channel, will the Tesla Cybertruck be able to make the jump of Big Bertha? What do you mean? Gas trucks? What do you think that is, guy? You see that right there? Can't you see the exhaust pipe? It's not a truck. It's because it's a buggy. Go on, guy, right there. How about this? I had Rovin Jackrabbit, which was quarter scale. It's because you don't watch my channel videos, guy. You don't watch my videos. I had that thing ripping the backyard track. I had it ripping the front. I had it ripping in snow. At least I think I had it ripping in snow. I for some reason I seem to remember ripping that thing in snow. But why do I not run my nitros and my gas point blank? Hate to say it. It's the noise. I already have real vehicles that make enough noise that having the sound of a flock of geese or a flock of bees like running in my ear. I did it for years, guy. When you get the Tesla, can you do the bulletproof window down? Oh, no, that didn't go over too well there, Frank. I highly doubt that. And I'm also not going to do the fake hammer. All right. Did anybody watch Franz or whatever that guy's name was? You know, he looked like he was a guy that was pretty built. He hauls off with the sledgehammer on the Ford door, right? And I don't know why nobody called it out, but he pulled back on the sledgehammer when he went to go hit the Cybertruck. And if anybody knows what a pullback is, he did not give it a full force hit, and that kind of bugged me because here he is hauling off on the Ford truck door, but then does a pullback on the Tesla. That was like, man, you're weak. Monster Jam, I'll see you later, man. You would actually be better off if Earl Moorhead was in here because he's got way more experience with any of those vehicles and steering servos, but I believe Earl Moorhead would probably recommend a Savox, or however you want to pronounce it. I think he likes those ones. What is going on? I don't know. Yeah, Jack H. You kind of can't talk like that on here because we're trying to keep things level. That's why I think YouTube automatically held your thing. It's not that he's weak, but he held back. He could have whaled that. He definitely could have whaled that door, and he didn't. He literally held back. Thomas Downey, yeah, you're saying Savox too? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. All right, what are we looking at? Wow. Already 3 hours? Holy smokes. All right. Oh, I'm going to end this live stream. What was that? Where'd that come from? So I'm literally going to be ending this live stream. We're like at 3 hours and 15 minutes. I think that's pretty good. I need to get moving. Sitting in this chair is absolutely killing me. The intent initially was to be able to go out and rip it today, but because of the all-knowing Alexa and her misinforming me of what the weather is going to be yesterday, Alexa, what's the temperature today?
Right now, it's 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 26 degrees.
I literally checked the weather last night, and it said, I mean, if people were on the live, they all heard it. It said that the weather was going to be 44 degrees today and sunny, and now it's supposed to be 36 and snow showers. Now, I need to move to a slightly warmer climate to be able to do this kind of stuff. So, anyways, everybody, thank you for coming to this episode of COVID and Coffee. It was basically just talking about tire and wheel swaps, what we've kind of done, or what I've kind of done with the Traxxas Max, what I've done with that Hobao caged buggy, which is the SS, Hyper SS caged buggy. Yeah, here's what it looks like, man. That thing has transformed so much. This may be one of my, if this thing survives in its current configuration, this potentially may blow away my ARRMA Creighton EXB in my mind. Hopefully that thing, the parts will come in for that thing so I can actually experience what other X-Max owners have like experienced. Traxxas Max, a very resilient little truck. Don't forget about the RC Guy Garage Big Rock Challenge. There's going to be a couple of them. Basically, all it is don't, if you've got a big rock, don't be afraid to full trigger send it. Just get out there, rip that thing to an inch of its life. So far, from what I've seen, just even within my own experience, the Big Rock V3 can take a smackdown, a beatdown, a full trigger rip. And that is, to me, very surprising. Even when you watch Earl Moorhead's video, he was even shocked to find out what the Big Rock was actually capable of doing. He took it to his 5th scale environment and ripped that thing to an inch of its life, and nothing's broken. It just keeps going and going and going, just like the Energizer Rabbit. So if you do the Big Rock Challenge, obviously just tag RC Guy Garage in it. That way it can all be like, one like formed kind of thing. Yeah, it's basically just getting out there and challenging yourself. The next challenge, basically, I think we figured it out right in this live. The next Big Rock Challenge is going to be RC Guy Garage Skate Park Challenge. Can your Big Rock survive longer than RC Guy Garage? I think that's going to be a good one because guess what? In reality, I've only been to one skate park once. So taking the Big Rock to my local skate park, man, that's going to be an experience like literally within itself. So can you rip your Big Rock longer than RC Guy Garage at the skate park? I think that actually could be a fun one. So anyways, like I always say, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Don't forget on your way up, if you can just throw a thumbs up, that would be awesome. It just helps grow the channel, helps YouTube like figure it out that maybe the content's worth watching. Maybe they'll throw like a couple ads on there. Don't like, you're never going to miss anything. Let an ad play through. You might like, there's actually a couple ads that have come on, at least on my thing when I've seen ads, that some of the ads actually seem like they're all right. So, but like I always say, get out there and rip it. COVID and Coffee, we're out. I suggest you get out too and point blank rip it like always. We've got Chainsaw, Keith, Stoned, Falcon, J.O., Riffraff, RC Master, Robert, Michael, your message was retracted, not sure why. Three Sons, Sergeant J, Robbie's RC, Steve Waddell, Dan Beard, Show Plays, City Plumbing. What's going on, guy? Good to have you here. Glad you're here, man. Jason Lee. Lights by Design. Greetings from Texas. Wow. Lights by Design. Why does that actually sound familiar to me? Lights by Design. Lights by Design. Do you do landscape lighting? Because that name sounds familiar to me. Frank Sluga. Jonathan Davis from Korn is here. I like saying that. He probably doesn't even know who the band Korn is. He's like, how come we keep saying I'm from the lead singer from Korn? Mitchell's RC. Jack H. I think that's it. Josh Johnson. Oh, Josh Johnson took off. Didn't even notice. Trash Ninja was here. I think he might still be here. I'm not sure. Hopefully I said everybody's name. Yeah, just look at that. There's 99 thumbs ups. Is there at least one person in here that hasn't given a thumbs up so I can end it on a 100 thumbs ups? That would be insane. Come on. 99. There's got to be somebody in here that just is fumbling through it, trying to figure it out. Bam! All right, who did the 100? Someone just did 100. Who did it? You see 101? So, all right, 101, 102, insane. I got to thank you guys. It's just cool. It's pretty insane when you think about it that the streams are getting like in the hundreds. That's nuts. It never got there before. Eric ERRC, man, you pushed it over. Awesome. Awesome. Falcon 102, right? It keeps like going up and down. Somebody's in there playing. They're like, click, 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 click. You always, thumbs up on the way in? RC Rorschach, definitely appreciate. Oh, dude, I didn't even know you were here. RC Rorschach. All right, so Lights by Design. Do you do landscape lighting? I don't know if you answered that, but Lights by Design, for some reason, I actually dealt with a company a long time ago. It was called Lights by Design, but I don't remember. It wasn't in Texas, though. Jack H, you made it 99 and then just liked it? Right. Frank Sluga, as usual. Your thing being hidden by YouTube for some reason. All right. Well, I gotta go, but Lights by Design, for some reason, if you are like the Lights by Design that I remember, that's pretty crazy. So anyways, I'm out. You should get out too. Like I always say, point blank, rip it. COVID and coffee. It's a blast. Shop Talk and Wrench tonight. We might see another Shop Talk and Wrench tonight. We'll see. There probably will be because like I can't get out there and rip it and gonna like want to do something. Halloween and Christmas lights shows. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if you like landscape lighting because I did business with a company called Lights by Design years ago. That's pretty crazy. You got the same name. So, all right. Like I said, thanks for coming. I'm out. I said that like 6 times now, but I really got to get out. End the stream. Maybe we'll see you guys for a Shop Talk and Wrench later tonight. See you there.